All right. Just kind of give it a minute. I'm starting a few minutes early, so if we don't go live right away, give it a second. YouTube has a new, let me see, mic on. Yeah, why is my screen going all crazy? YouTube has a new thing on the back end, or at least it's new for me, where there's two different versions of the YouTube Live. Like again, the back end, the screen that you see when you're setting it up, it's different on this other version of YouTube Live, and there's different options and stuff. It's small stuff, but it's like one of their beta programs or something. It's on the beta version. If you don't make YouTube videos, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but they're changing the back end. They changed it in a really big way. So it is dramatically different as far as looks, and buttons are in different areas, and how you do it is different, and blah, blah, blah. So just give me a shout out in the chat if you see me. Let me try to fix this. I'm going to take the screen off. Like I said, we still have another 3 minutes. There we go. We still have another 3 minutes until we're technically live. We were going live at 10:05. I'll wait to get into everything until 10:05, so we got a couple minutes. On my screen here, the Streamlabs, my OBS through Streamlabs is solid and perfect, and it's the same as it always is. YouTube is having a seizure. I'm looking at the YouTube screen, and it is going nuts. It's shutting off and turning on and yada yada yada. Is that on my end or is that on y'all end? Capture top moments, new, create a highlight. Yeah, see, look at, well, you guys can't see, but there's all this shit on the back end. It's not even over yet. Well, I don't know what the TV's doing. It's already 10:03, but we're starting at 10:05. AMC cut out in the last 5 minutes? That sucks. Someone please tell me, is your screen clear? My screen is having a seizure. Like I said, the Streamlabs is great, but on the YouTube screen, it's going nuts. That's on my end. I hope that's what you guys mean by saying your end. As long as you guys can see it clear. If there's still 5 minutes left, I don't know what to tell you, J-Rex. I said we're not going live yet. This is just the whatever. So if you didn't hear me, fall back and relax. We're not getting into it for a few minutes. This is just a whole, let's make sure we're good to go, yada, 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 because I don't know if I can show this, but maybe it won't. On my back end, the new back end looks like this, and it's just cutting in and out. You see how it's just cutting in and out like that? It's going hella nuts. And where's my sounds? Oh, come on. Did you guys get a... Storm Williams donated $5. There we go. I was about to say, did all my stuff go away? The little zombie and the sounds and shit like that? Let me get rid of the YouTube thing. Let me pop out the chat and put it on this video, because YouTube is doing some other shit right now with its screen. Everything's delayed. It's just shutting off and on. Let me put this over here. Let me announce this shit on Facebook and then on Twitter. And then there we go. I'll put up the Streamlabs. That's straight, but for some reason it says live chat is unavailable. That's how I was able to look at you guys. I'm going to repeat myself again. We're not starting yet officially. If you're watching this after it has already posted and it's no longer live, please just fast forward a few minutes, because AMC, apparently from what comments are saying, AMC cut out or stopped or stalled or delayed or some shit like that for the last few minutes. Some people said there's still 5 minutes to go, and that was about 3 minutes ago. So we're waiting another minute or two. You guys give me a shout out when the episode is done. I apologize, I got mixed up. Storm Williams with the $5 dono. You have the best Walking Dead review channel, Mr. Hayes. Don't I fucking know it, brother? Don't I fucking know it? Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. I'm just teasing too, being you know, being a brag and douchebag. What do you want me to say? You know, if I thought it was shit, I wouldn't do it. I don't know about the best. You know, if you appreciate me as the best, then hell, that puts a smile on my face. I don't know about the best though. You know, but who knows? Who knows? I'm losing track with who's all doing Walking Dead reviews. A few years ago, it seemed like everyone talked about The Walking Dead, but now it feels like it really fell back down to a certain handful, or at least what I can keep up with. I heard New Rockstars gave me a huge shout out on their forum. Someone give me a damn link. I keep trying to find a link for this forum. I looked on their YouTube channel, I looked here and there, but I must have had 100 people tell me I came from New Rockstars forum. Not 100. But maybe about 50 people say, like, I came from their forum, whoop-de-whoop, and they're not doing The Walking Dead no more. So I was like, damn, that sucks. And I forgot to make a straw poll. Guys, shout out when it's over, and then we're going to be getting into this. Hell yeah, homie, hell yeah. Straw poll. Oh, shit, that's not what I want. No, fuck out of here, brother. No, stop doing that. I hate when Google does that drop down shit. All right, type a question here. The Walking Dead 10:06. Love like shit. Love like meh. Wait, okay. What did we do? Love like meh. Love like meh. Dislike. Damn, I'm stupid today. Dislike and hate, and then I'll drop the link in the video description. And I'm so stupid. Yes, there and in the comments. Private only. Create poll. Love, like, meh, dislike, hate. Okay. Vote. I can vote. Yeah, boy. Copy link. Link copied. I'm gonna put the straw poll for you guys to vote on the episode down in that comment box, and I'm also going to slide over here and attempt to put it in the video description. Like I said, the back end for me is now new, and it's showing other stuff besides the video description. So I lied. It's not going to go in the video description right now. It's only going into the comments. Go down below into the live comment. I put the straw poll. I'll put it again. Live streams again. No. Don't get your hopes up. We're going to get into everything here in a minute. As soon as you guys, the episode just ended. I saw one comment say that. You only got a notification for this now. Well, I tried something. Like I said, it was new on the back end. It's not new, but the way it looks is new for me. I did it on the beta side, and it was beta. And it was the whatchamacallit, a timed event or a live event instead of going live now. Normally what I do is I just set up the live stream, and then when we're ready, we just go live. Tonight what I did was I set the live stream up and as an event, and I believe that's why some people were able to start commenting right away, even though I was still setting up the live stream. No, Aaron Meeks, I don't have the review done yet. The reviews are Monday. For the Walking Dead reviews, they're Monday. I'm still working on a scheduling, still fighting to make room, and I will tell you right now, I got to shift a few things, but it's 100% possible for me to start posting the flaws and ahs for the Walking Dead soon, not right away, maybe a few weeks, or I don't know, maybe second half. But I'll be able to post them at 10 o'clock every friggin' Sunday night. We're getting there, but I did a little test and looked at my schedule and all that, and it's possible in the future flaws and ahs for The Walking Dead will be hitting immediately after the episode. Now, I'm going to get into a little reason why we're here now that the episode has ended. One of the big reasons why we did, and don't forget to vote for the episode, I just put another link in the comment box. One reason why we are here right now is because we did a video discussing my comic Doomsday Kingdom last night. It was a live stream, and Micaiah and Spin came in fly with some bomb-ass donos, and I was like, that was, massively generous. a few other people donated as well, and a lot of positivity and comments. And I thought, you know, what the hell, I'm going to get done what I need to do, and we'll do a little bonus live stream after this episode. Also, my daughter doesn't have school tomorrow, so that makes it a little easier as well to shift my schedule around. Would you rather Doomsday Kingdom become a TV series or movies? Probably movies, if I can be honest, but who knows? I mean, with Netflix and streaming services nowadays, I've always said, man, something like a Netflix style is amazing for anyone who's creating something. Welcome to the Map Mob, William Allen Gray. Thank you very much for that support. Let's see, what should we get into? The review, I think we'll discuss. I do want to mention for those interested, we're going to dive right into a little real quick review because the Flaws and Awes video will be dropping tomorrow. I'm already halfway done with that at this point. I do have this up here. If anyone wants a behind the scenes of what a Flaws and Awes looks like, this is massive when you take a look at it because all these little blocks are different little clips that you got to deal with. But we will be covering the review just briefly. We'll get into what you guys think about the episode, but we're going to announce the new Flaws and Awes, which is The Walking Dead on Monday, if Sunday eventually, but The Walking Dead on Monday. And Friday will be the movie Flaws and Awes. And I guess I can say officially it's going to be Train to Busan this Friday. I've been holding back off that because, for one, it was a lot more editing than I realized. That was a big one. I love that movie. But that's a big one. And after Train to Busan, we're going to get into every Friday is going to be a movie Flaws and Awes. And you guys will be voting on the franchise. For example, Terminator's in the works. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Saw, The Thing, Bone Tomahawk. There's a lot more too. I mean, there's tons. I have so much stuff that's already backed up, and I'm getting into it, but I want you guys to be involved in picking what we do. So just to throw that out there, members and Patreon will be able to vote on what we're doing and what's next. So just think up some suggestions and ideas. Always be ready to toss them out there. But that is the official news schedule starting now. Sure, there's going to be some bumps in the road, but that's what we're doing as far as the main content ending out 2019. Monday is The Walking Dead. Friday is a movie Flaws and Awes. And we're going to get, after the review, we're going to get into the requests from you guys about what we should do with the members only stream and then what we should do with the Sunday night streams. Let's get into a review quick now that we've waited for enough people to get in here. And for the last time, I'm going to put the link to the voting straw poll, it's called. Go and vote for what you thought of this episode. I put it in the comment box. I don't have access to the video description right this second, but go down there in the comment box. I just want to say, obviously, we're diving into The Walking Dead episode 1006 right now. I want to say, obviously, Negan and Beta is fun. I did want a little more, but again, I'm not going to shit on it too much yet because this is the first time they're together. So I'm sure there's going to be a few more episodes where there's opportunity to get more from those two characters. It would be a lot of work, but would you ever do a Flaws and Awes? A Lost Flaws and Awes? Not anytime soon. You're right, that would be a lot of work. We'd have to get up and running and see how the support is. If we're on fire and the support is there and that's like, oh shit, I'm working on Flaws and Awes full time, there's room to get it in and sure. And again, if there's support, if we did one and no one wants to watch it, then we'd have to back off. But that would be a really interesting one and a really tricky one to do as well. All right, so Daryl and Carol, I thought that was a bit much. Not the way that sounds, just it's set up, and I would have rather, as much as I enjoy being with them, I would have rather a little less of that, a little less of the sickness stuff, which did remind me of the prison in season 4 where the pigs got everyone sick. The radio is set up also. Now, I put in my Flaws and Awes video that I'm a bit numb to the radio. Wait, hold on one second. I'm a bit numb to the radio because we had it in the comic. However, when I sit there and think about it, okay, if I had no idea the radio was coming, yes, that has the potential to have some really interesting stories. So I'm excited about that, and I'm interested in that as well. It's just everything they had with the radio tonight, other than Stroudsburg, the shout out from Pennsylvania. I lived in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, so it's not really far away from Stroudsburg. I heard of it and yada yada yada, so it was nice PA getting a shout out. Meow Cat Bissy with a $5 dono. We gotta call that something else. I hate saying donation. I hate saying dono. And not the fact that it's a money thing. The word just sounds dumb. There's just words that just don't sound pleasant. We'll call it a love tap or something. You guys come up with something that's nice for that, All right, Meow Cat Bissy with a $5 love tap. See, I like that. Well, maybe it doesn't fit this channel though, but you guys think of something bloody and gory to call the donation. Miss you, Ronnie, like a nickname. Miss you too, Meow Cat Bissy. Where you been? You've been gone for a bit. So glad you're live tonight. Not gonna lie, Carol and Daryl's exchanges had me on the edge of my seat. Die hard shipper here. Sorry. You know what I tell you? There's one thing that outside of the shipping, I know there's a lot of fans that are still stuck on them with the shipping, and me personally, I think that could come later, and that would fit later with how they are progressing the relationship. For example, I think it was extremely important for Carol to bring it up before Daryl even got into a relationship with Connie because of his character and how his character's shaped. And I'm all for this, how they did it. His head isn't in it like that. You know what I'm saying? So for her to bring it up and be like, hey, dumbass, yes, do that. There's more to life than just yada, yada, yada. There's something special and nice and comforting, and there's a warmth there to that companionship, someone to hang out with and just to be with. And there's so many different words I can use for that, but you get what I'm saying. Just someone, I think companionship is the best, just someone to share time with. And for her to bring that up and put it in Daryl's head, I think that was really important. Now, if Connie ever dies off and now Daryl is used to and in and, the relationship wise, and this is character development, then obviously, bringing Carol and Daryl as a relationship for the diehard fans down the line, I think it works. Ronnie, are you only doing Flaws and Oz on movies because the Kingdom Zombie show on Netflix, Flaws and Oz, would be dope? We're not doing shows except for The Walking Dead. We're gonna do The Walking Dead, and then we're gonna go into movies for the Flaws and Oz, and we're gonna really test the water and see about what other TV shows we do when it comes to the Flaws and Oz style. Like I said though, if it's rocking and rolling and I'm able to do, a TV show episode Flaws and Oz and then a movie, because the movie ones are 3 times as much work as the TV shows. A lot of TV shows have time to breathe because it's a TV show. Movies, every second, like Train to Busan, they don't waste a single second. Every second has some meaty stuff for the story, and that's the stuff that you as you're watching it, you're like, yes, yes, or no, or yes, yes, and no. But with shows, there's big moments where it breathes, where the scene just lingers and it holds for a beat. They do that far greater in shows than they do with movies. So there's a huge... Doing a Flaws and Oz for 3 episodes of The Walking Dead is similar to doing it to 1 movie. Even the script itself, the Train to Busan script, I think I have, right here is Walking Dead 1006 is like 4 pages or something like that, handwritten 4 pages, and I sometimes write real small. When I get excited, it gets big, but I mean, I got multiple pages handwritten here. There must be over 20, maybe 25 pages. That's the script compared to 5-6 pages from an episode. But like I said, we're gonna see. We're just taking off. In my eyes, and I keep rushing myself. We didn't even start yet. We're gonna be, going once we have a few movies under my belt. And people see that, oh shit, this is going to be a series, and we're going to cover possibly any and every horror movie you can think of, from the hard, the ones that people might not know of, to the ones that are cult icons. Anyhow, going back to Sadiq. Sadiq was a bit stiff for me in this episode. He has been a few times, but the actor was stiff, especially when he was yelling, and I'll admit it, I watched 3 times now this episode, and I've edited it and watched certain scenes numerous times through editing, and I have no fucking idea what the hell that was. Did he sleepwalk? What was he doing outside there? What was that? Was that a dream? Was he sleepwalking? What is that? What does that have to do with it? I don't know. I'm lost. I'm freaking lost on that. So if you guys have anything to add to the Sadiq one, I don't know. Anyone who's new, vote down below in the comment section. I put another link. Vote for the episode down below. The sickness was frustrating simply because I strongly feel, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with Aaron coming up, but I strongly feel this episode needed a image of Aaron in the daytime by the crick, looking and wondering, like looking at the zombie and being like, looking at where the crick goes and just being like, fuck. And then he takes off, but he never makes it back in time. That to me would have added this level of suspense. Like, okay, we're waiting. The whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking, as soon as the old lady and then Rosita got sick, well, as soon as they mentioned Rosita had a stomach bug in the one preview, I was like, okay, well, we saw them poison the water, so that's what it is. And now everyone's sick. The whole time I'm not watching it thinking like, oh, this is entertaining. I'm like, where's this idiot Aaron? Yeah, I like Aaron too, but where's this fucking idiot? He's waiting around for this girl to give her bandages, but he saw her doing some grimy shit near the creek. You telling me Aaron's not going to hurry back and warn his people? The water's flowing right towards their... Even if it wasn't exactly flowing towards them, he should have been down there looking at it and then realized it. You know what I'm saying? You should call the donos nut taps. I probably should, since, oh, too bad I couldn't get an animated gif of Negan just going thwap. Maybe I'm going to look into that. Is that possible? When we get a donation, instead of seeing the zombie, I'll get an animated Negan just going thwap. See, that's why I got to get some graphic designers on the team and stuff, you know, who are out there doing it as a job, and then they, you know, work here for shout outs or, you know, jobs, actual jobs, so they can, you know, on the side type come up style. Anyhow, he had a blackout. Okay, fine. Blackout, sleepwalking. I don't give a good goddamn. What does it have to do with the mill? What is that? Where are we going with that? And again, it's something where it's just like a setup, and I talk about this in the Flaws and Awes. When Beta kneels for Alpha, I was like, fuck yes, because the way it was structured, having Alpha, and this isn't an accident, they do this on purpose, having Alpha slaughter that Whisperer who challenged her in 10:05 is in there on purpose to connect to this episode, where we have Alpha being like, okay, you're challenging me twice now. This is becoming a, do you want to step up and become Alpha? And then we see the contrast there. We just saw Alpha, and then now here, blah, blah, blah. With the Sadiq, the moment alone doesn't give us enough substance. The Alpha moment, killing that Whisperer, gave us so much more substance. Sadiq, okay, we already know he's going with his blackouts. It just feels like they have something that does not have a lot of meat. So what they're doing is they're just stretching it out with this whole, let's just show him shaking every time, you know, there's lips around. You know what I'm saying? Baby lips now sends him for in a panic attack. Anyhow, I wonder if the YouTube clickbaiters are gonna make a video saying YouTube's baby is a Whisperer spy. I'm telling you right now. Storm Williams, thank you for the $2 nut tap, love tap. Wait, no, nut tap. Yeah, it is a love tap, nut tap. A love nut tap. Jerry Epstein killed himself. I don't know how that relates to what we're doing, but I doubt that. Daryl, oh yeah, my favorite scene, and then we'll end out the review and see what you guys have to say about the episode. My favorite moment is probably not going to be the same one you guys pick, but it's with Daryl snapping the neck on the walker. Now, what he's doing is he's breaking the walker's neck. For anyone that missed it, I saw a couple comments where there was a few people that missed it. I just want to point this out. But he snapped the walker's neck to break its neck, and as we've seen from walkers getting their heads cut off and their mouths still go, the zombie's still a zombie because the brain isn't damaged. So it snaps its neck so it can no longer move its arms and legs. It can't run away. It can't attack him. Can't grab him. And then he guts it, and he puts the guts on him. And he just gets done, and the Whisperer's have a few walkers forward, and the way it works, we've seen it already set up, but the walkers will fish out or smell out, kind of like a hunting dog. The walkers push out the threat, and the whisperers are in the back. And then once they have the threat realized and they found the threat, that's when they sneak in and stab from behind, like they did with Jesus and a couple others. Not from behind, but you know what I mean. They send the walkers in first, and then they whatever. So you get the walkers go by, and because he's covered in guts now, the walkers just keep going right on by him. He's got the knife out, and then you hear them whisper and shit. Yo, yo, that shit was bomb as fuck. I love that moment. Anyhow, the last thing I want to say is kind of about AMC Premiere. I do want to mention this and give a shout out that I did not think AMC Premiere would be worth anything. Now, maybe because I'm in YouTube, that is the only reason why I do enjoy it. I do understand that, but I started using AMC Premiere for a few weeks now, and for me, it's awesome. For one, and I know this sounds stupid, I know AMC's, everyone's all rich and whoop-de-whoop, but I'm a strong believer in, I don't care. If I'm into something, I'm going to support it. I don't bootleg it. I'm not watching no bootleg movies and yada, yada, yada. If it's a movie that I'm all in, like Dark Fate, I watched a bootleg because I'm never going to buy a ticket to go see it. Dark Fate ruined the Terminator franchise. I'm not. Like Star Wars, I'm not going to see the Rise of the Last Jedi Skywalker. I just don't care. I'm not going to see it. It's already done for me. I keep it moving. But for The Walking Dead, for other movies and shows that I'm into, I support it. Like, I'm not bootlegging the comic, and that's just a personal thing. I don't give a fuck what anyone else does. So for me, I was buying each episode on Amazon, and after watching it already on TV, I'd buy the episode because I'm using it for the video. And I pull my clips and this, that, and the third. But now, instead of paying $3 an episode, now I'm paying AMC Premiere. It's just $5 a month. And they have movies. I will say, as just a fan, for a YouTuber, this is perfect. I watch on Friday. I get my video ready and I release it Monday. Boom. Soon I'm going to be releasing Sunday. AMC Premiere is freaking perfect for me for that. The only downside is there's a number of times where their picture quality is not good. It gets pixelated, and it's not my internet because it happens in certain moments and always in certain moments, like a scratched disc where it only skips in that moment. And it's a pain in the ass. There's been times where it's been crisp the whole way through, and then there's been times like with the one where Kelly's running through the woods. The one shot where she's running through the woods that's really cool, and I wanted to get a screen grab of it. Every time I play that, still to this day, I go on the thing and play it. It always gets pixelated for that one moment for like 10 seconds. Anyhow, so then as I check out the movies, here's one thing, I will put this out there. There's movies and shows where you can watch no commercials. The Walking Dead is no commercials. But then there's movies like Friday the 13th where you can watch with commercials. And I will have to say, it's just simply not worth it at all. For one, there's commercials which get really annoying because they don't just play a commercial for a few seconds. They play 4 commercials every single commercial break. And there's a commercial break like every 15 minutes in a movie, And it's 4 commercials. And it's literally like watching it at home. Now, on the flip side, what makes it, to go along with that, what makes it even worse of an experience is it's all their movies are the TV cut of the movie. So I'm watching Friday the 13th, I'm binging it so I can do the flaws and alls, and all the kills are neutered, and I started going, wait a minute, hold on, that Kevin Bacon one, I know that kill, that's one of my favorites. What happened? And I went and looked, and a lot of their stuff is the TV cut. So I've been getting these questions since I've been using AMC. How is AMC Premiere? I have to say, as a YouTuber and for The Walking Dead and for covering it, it is fan-fucking-tastic. I love it. Best $5 I've ever spent, because again, it's all for the channel, and it makes it run smooth and perfect. If I had to wait till Sunday, you guys wouldn't be getting the flaws and alls until, friggin' Monday to maybe Wednesday night, Anyway. So, perfect. But when it comes to the movies and the quality, they really need to step up their game. To put movies on there, showing the TV cut is not going to work. Not when I could go to YouTube and pay $3 and just get a crystal clear image with the uncut version of the movie that I'm looking for. Anyhow, that's it for The Walking Dead episode 1006. I'm going to put the poll down in the comment box one last time. Go and vote, and we'll check your votes. Slizzle90, Slizzle2290 with a $5.09 nut tap. Do you like the we will try a few different nicknames too, and we'll find the right one that sticks. You guys let me know. Do you like the contentious relationship between Carol and Daryl? My brain read that as continuous. I don't know if you saw me stutter, but I had to double take. Like, wait, what? Also, what are your thoughts on Jeffrey Dean Morgan's performance tonight? I liked his performance. I like him as Negan, but as a different Negan. Again, if I look at him as comic Negan, he just doesn't come off as the same. And yes, I'll be real with you. We do this with women too. We talk about women body shapes and yada, and if they're pretty. I do it in Train to Busan just because the one chick who I think as an actress is good, but when you look at her as the cheerleader of, they don't fit, you know? It just doesn't fit. Sorry, it doesn't. Casting's off on that. Now, when it comes to Jeffrey Dean Morgan, yeah, he's too skinny. He's too skinny. He's just too fucking skinny for comic Negan. I'm sorry, bro. If he was, age might have something to do with it. If he was younger and if he was less well known, if this was his first role, I mean, he might have lifted weights for this. For this role, I don't think he needed to lift weights. If his career was struggling and whoop-de-whoop, he probably would have put in the work to get bigger. Who knows? I'm just saying, visually, I don't look at Negan and Beta like I did in a comic where I said, you know what, Beta's got some size on him, but fuck, you know, Negan can throw down. When I look at Negan and Beta, I'm thinking like, okay, Negan's tactical and he's sly and slick and yada yada yada, but as far as that type of threat, I think there's a threat there. But when it comes to straight toe to toe, Beta will snap him in half and use him like a toothpick. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just being real, you know? But I like TV Negan, but that's the combination of the leadership with the brain and being sly and clever. I do like the friction between Daryl and Carol. I do like that. I want them to take that into an interesting direction. Call the donations Walker bait. Walker bait. Well, it's got to be something where, you know, something comes in. It has to go with, you know, we have a $5 Walker bait. You know, again, it doesn't have that. It just doesn't have that roll off the tongue. A $5 love tap, a $5 even nut tap. You know, it has to be something that rolls with. If we just call it Walker bait, I don't know. It just, you get what my brain's trying to say. It just doesn't have that same. Like, for example, if we call it a $5 dog or a $5 kiss, you get it? It just, at least that's how my brain sees it. There's something. I'm an idiot. I'm doing a terrible job at that, but you get what I'm saying. AMC Premiere changes their movies monthly, I believe, too. Yeah, well, not just monthly. For some of the movies, they only went on for 6 days. I know a lot of the horror movies went up there for 6 days. I'm sorry, not 6 days. It was longer. It was like 2 weeks of horror. I know a lot of the Friday the 13th because I was watching them within a 7-day period, so they expired in 7 days. I saw a movie up there for 3 days. That was I could have missed it, but I thought it was newer, so I probably just missed it, and by the time I clicked on it, it was 3 days. But some of them, yeah, they put new movies up. It's not just monthly, though. There are some that go up for a few weeks. JDM is skinny. After party stream tonight on the Ronnie Hayes channel. No, hell no, Aaron P. Hells no. We're all done with that. Aaron, that's never coming back. Not the Ronnie Hayes channel. What I mean is, you know, long stream after long stream. I'm not a Twitch guy. We're not streamer of the year. That's not the future of this channel or what I want to do. We're going to be doing streams off and on. I'm not afraid of streams at all. I love doing them. I enjoy doing them. But that's not this type of a joint here. When I get done with this, I'm going right into working on the Flaws and Awes to finish that for Monday. If I don't, part of the reason why things got messed up so much in the past is, yeah, I often was like, okay, I can fit everything into the week. Nope, can't. If we're doing videos, regular schedule, 2 videos, heavy edited videos a week, I can't dick around, man. So but we will have Ronnie Hayes content, but I'm waiting until Flaws and Oz is back up and running. I've already got some stuff in editing for the Ronnie Hayes, but that's all behind the scenes stuff. Like the move, I still have some videos for that. I think Daryl and Carol will remain friends until the end when you find out they ended up together, kind of like how Carl, Sophia, that's a possibility. You never got to my super chat question. Oh, hold on. How did I miss your super chat question? Oh, I'm sorry. BK Born, 8315. Thank you very much for that extra shout out. Matter of fact, let me pull up this screen. This screen over here, if I get it right, will make sure I don't miss any. Where's it at? Here we go. Come on, YouTube. Don't do this to me now. You were working before. Okay, there we go. I got the viewer activity. So we got new member, Meowcat Bissy, and then, okay, perfect. So now I'm caught up. BK Born with a $10 love tap. I need more live streams, Mr. Hayes. Are you back to doing every Sunday? And also, have you started Death Stranding? No, I'm not going to be doing Death Stranding for a little bit. Maybe in December. It might be in January. Thank you for the dono. We are not officially back every Sunday. I'm still working on it to see what we're going to be doing. Once I do this wrap up with asking you guys what's up and everything, and check the poll. We're gonna go into the requests I've been getting, because here's how it works. I have a number of different people asking or seeing if we can do a certain thing. For example, instead of doing the random membership and Patreon stream at the end of the month, people are asking if we really pump it and hype it and kickstart it and it's a combination of the Patreon and the YouTube membership. Either whichever one you choose, then we'll, instead of doing that on Saturdays, we'll do it on Sunday and have it right after The Walking Dead. Now, once that was brought up, I had a few people saying, well, that Saturday works better for me and yada, yada, yada. And I'm trying to keep the focus. To people who are suggesting we do it on Sunday is to kind of bring back the let's talk about The Walking Dead episode and hang out a bit. So again, it's up in the air with what we're going to do, but I'm trying to get a good idea of where see where you guys stand on it. What day? What's it for? Are you guys just asking for streams on any day, or is it after The Walking Dead that's important? I'm trying to gauge it all around. Can we make everyone happy? No. With time zones, we're never going to get the perfect time for the days and what day it is and everyone's work schedule. We're never going to make it where everyone can do it. But if there's a way to get it where the majority wins, it's better to do that than no one wins. You know what I mean? So we're trying, but we don't know yet. Let's, oh yeah, I remember that one and that one. Wait. Where are we at? Okay, Storm Williams, Slizzle, and then Bank at Thunder. That's where we're at. Bank at Thunder. Have I been saying that wrong this whole time? I'm just going to keep saying that until you say, hey, listen, stupid. Do you think with a $20 nut tap, do you think Sadiq... See, I don't know. I still think there's a better one out there. But he gave me a $20 nut tap, and that is painful. Do you think Sadiq beheaded Ozzy? No, I don't. Ozzy was significant due to how new he was. Plus, when Margot was shouting in the council meeting, Sadiq was shaken. When he was talking about Ozzy, he wasn't weird around Alden, or Earl. I always want to say Aiden. I have a family member named Aiden, and I just see that, and I think Aiden. Okay, I 100% refuse to believe that Alpha made Sadiq behead them. First off, it takes away from Alpha doing it, and it takes away from the Whisperers doing it. For me, it needs to be them, because that is bloody and vicious and rough and yada. If Alpha made Sadiq behead them all, it steals so much from Alpha, even though she made him do it. And I get the whole argument, wow, that's twisted, yada, yada, yada. On the flip side, and I'll be real with you, it's 2019, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And that is you can call it political, identity politics or whatever, yeah, diversity, blah, blah, blah. You call it whatever argument you want. They're not doing that. Sorry, they're just not. Same thing when I called Rosita cheating, getting pregnant. Yeah, they'll never do that. They didn't. Look, because again, in our society, in our culture now, we have this whole where we're overcorrecting for women in certain things. We're overcorrecting diversity. We're overcorrecting, and we're not going to get into why and how yada yada and how that's interfering with things. But they're not going to take somebody who's not white, I'll be honest and say it, and turn him into someone who did such a nasty act. And yeah, it is nasty because he should have sacrificed his own life. Cut this person's head off or you die. Okay, fuck it, kill me. That's how it needs to be, or else they ruin Sadiq's character. Maybe they'll trick me, and Sadiq did behead any of them. I'd be shocked, and in the same strength, I'd be like, wow, Sadiq is a shitty character, because Daryl would have died. Daryl never would have beheaded anyone. You would have killed him right then and there. You know what I'm saying? And that's characters we love. But DJ White, $1.99. What time should we expect it tomorrow? In the afternoon. Like I said, there was a portion of time I needed to get this done that I'm doing the live stream. So I will need in the afternoon. And I can't just wake up and work. There's stuff I have to do. Got to get some work done. And then when I get back, I'll be able to finish up. I need a few more hours. I think I need like 3.5 to 4 more hours worth of editing to finish it. And then we're good. Maybe a little less. We'll see. Because I'm not distorting the image now. So that's going to help cut down on some time. I'll show you guys what one of the clips look like for the Flaws and Awes. I have it in the background here. Godzilla 2472 with a $5 nut tap. Am I the only one Am I the only one disappointed that so much of the comic dialogue between Negan and Beta was not in this episode? I had a twinge of disappointment now keep in mind, there's not a lot I remember, but I did have a twinge of disappointment. It wasn't as, it wasn't as animated. It didn't feel like, it felt like there was this butting of heads, but I don't know. I pictured something a little different. I'm not holding it against it, like I said, because I don't want to rate something on expectations. I think that I'm trying to pull away from that as much as possible, because I've learned going back and watching things with different expectations, I end up liking it or loving it a lot more, $5 bite. I don't know if that has the same ring to it either. You guys will have to, as we're going through these, you guys will have to let me know. Only Alyssa W says, I like dono. I don't know. It's just, it flows. It flows a lot better than having to say donation every single time. And again, it's words that have a nice ring. But dono just has a better one. It flows. It's quick. Dono. Keep moving. Bong. But I feel like there's something else better out there. I don't know if bite works too. It's too sharp, if that makes sense. Evan up next with a $2 bite. Maybe. So is the stomach bug being caused by Gamma? Yes. At this point, I would have to say that it has to be, because it would be weird if it was just a wild coincidence, Sadiq Sinbad was on Talking Dead, ? I don't know what that even means. I know the actor, I know yada yada yada, but again, I hate when I bring something up like that and I mean it in one way and not everyone, but certain people run with it a totally different way. I know a Sinbad, was that a character and an actor, or both? If that guy was on, I have no idea. I didn't watch. Bank of Thunder, DJ White, thank you very much for the dono. DJ White, Godzilla, thanks again. Only Alyssa, thank you very much. And Evan up next, thank you as well. Dana Finkler with a $2 bite. Boof it, brother, all day, every day. Keep it up. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much for the dono. Micaiah Harrington with a $30 nut tap to 15.5 million subs, and YouTube being drunk again. Keep up the good work, Ronnie. Thank you very much, Micaiah. And again, a big thank you to Micaiah and Spin. They came in fly with a bomb-ass dono yesterday, and I was like, man, that felt good. I wanted to be like an extra little thank you. Let's do a stream tonight. So I said, screw it. Shifted some things, plus like I said, it really helped that Juliet didn't have school tomorrow, so we could sleep in a little bit, but I still got to get up early. I just don't have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, Have you seen the movie Eli on Netflix? No, it's in my wish list, but I didn't watch it yet. What the hell is the point of Beta making Negan dig all those holes? Well, he didn't dig different holes. Maybe I missed that. He digged a hole to make the pit for the pit cooker or cooking. It's a really old method of cooking animals, pigs, shit like that. I looked up a little bit of it, and again, that was for the Flaws and Alls video. We don't need to go too deep, but it is a real method. There's different variations of it. Some I've seen with leaves, but part of the idea is you dig out a hole, you put rocks in there, you burn fire, heat up the rocks, and then you put the pig on top, you cover it up, and it cooks for 6 hours to up to 2 days, and it'll just cook under there because everything stays hot, and I guess the rocks in the ground, it just keeps going. So he dug the hole so they can cook the pig. Maybe he dug a few holes because there's a lot of whispers to dig multiple pigs, but for his pig specifically, he dug that hole to cook that pig, that little piggy. Have you seen the movie Eli? Okay. Bank of Thunder. I don't think Alpha made City kill all of them, but just Ozzy. I could see that as being a little twist. My name is pronounced Bunk Eye Thunder. Oh, we had that conversation before. And excuse me for burping in your fucking ears. Frowny McTwoKnives. I'll be honest. I never really gave a shit about the whole Frowny McTwoKnives in the comic. It felt a little try-hard. There was a couple times when he used it, Negan called him that. I was like, yeah. However, on the show, I feel like I'm take it or leave it. I don't know. Another thing too is Beta was so big compared to taller. You know, he's still bigger than him, but taller than him. You got this, I don't know, this big vibe. They emphasized it, much more. So as long as they have a back and forth where Beta just doesn't like him, which I love because Beta's right on the money. No. And that's another flaw with the episode. Yes, Negan said, I'm a prisoner, and I talk about this in the other video, and I understand why he said it when he said it and not earlier. In real life, it would have been earlier. It doesn't matter. That's fine. Small stuff. That's structured on storytelling. But when it comes to Alpha, they sacrificed part of the realism to have Alpha and Negan do a face-to-face later in the episode, which fine for the face-to-face and the sacrifice, but no, one of the first things he should have said, or that should have been said, was this dude was a prisoner of our enemy, and not just the ones with Beta and Negan. That should have been brought up right when Negan was at the camp. It should have been a big deal and an issue, because there's no fucking way any idiot in this world is going to be going to war with a whole different community, and then some random guy shows up and they don't think he's definitely a spy. There's no way in real life, I don't care who you are or how big of an idiot you are, nobody is going to just go, oh, maybe he's a prisoner. That's so ridiculous. He should have been interrogated even a little bit when they got there. In real life, they would have tortured him for information and killed him. Done. That's it. They needed something else. Anyhow, I like Dono, Cesar MP. I just don't see City killing any of them. I think it has to do with our culture nowadays. I don't think they would do that. I just don't think they would. And I could be wrong. Hell yeah, Micaiah says, I think I'm too used to Dono at this point. Yeah, that's going to come out a lot because it's just so, again, it's quick. It's boom. It cuts right through, but I don't know. Hey, Chris Stanley got the 2-month membership with the blue and yellow for the map channel. I think that's the first time I saw the blue and yellow one. Maybe I've seen it in another stream, but let me make sure I'm hearing a lot of beeps. Let me get these covered. You guys are fucking kicking ass, by the way. The support to the channel is massive. I'm going to check over here to make sure I'm not missing any, and then we'll check the straw poll. I don't want to forget about that. Let me get rid of this, and let me look down here. Nicole Poliski. I thought maybe that was a trick. Like, it looked easier than it was, and I was going to mess it up. Polishki? Sounds nice, huh? $20 dono. So happy to see you back on Sunday. Been loving the flaws and awes. If you have a chance, watch The Nightingale on Hulu. Great flick. I'll write that down. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Nightingale. That name sounds familiar, though. Nightingale. Is that a horror movie? Please tell me that's a horror movie. Thank you very much for the dono. And I wrote that down. I'll check that out. The title should get better and cooler for higher level hits to encourage more money. The title should get better and cooler. I don't know what you mean. Do you think Alpha will find out? Oh, I gotcha. Like a $5 dono would be a dono. A $10 would be a nut tap. $20 would be a love tap. I think there's so many different variations. I would probably confuse myself. Do you think Alpha will find out about making a whisper that Carol took? I was told there would be some confirmation proving that Carol didn't envision it. I got to ask my boy, but in my eyes, there was no confirmation, but we'll see, you know? It is real though. Carol really stepped in the trap. I know I get frustrated with fans. I know, I love you guys too, but some of you frustrate me because they're not going to make it complicated where part of it was real, part of it was fake. No, it was all real when she stepped into the trap and when she shot the Whisperer and when she fought all the walkers. You can hate it all you want, but that all happened. It was all real. I know there's some people saying like she didn't step into the trap, but she did kill the girl, but she didn't fight the walkers. Logically, there's nothing that makes sense. If you just look at the scene, how it plays out, there's nothing that makes sense that for a viewer to say, okay, that's how it happened. And that's why I say there's no way they would do that, because you can't watch it and pick those moments out. It's way too blurry, you know? Will you eventually do Flaws and Awes for a girl with all the gifts? It's possible. It's possible. Godzilla 2472 with a $10 love tap. Also, did you notice that Beta carried 2 bodies over his shoulders just like Negan did in the comics? And Negan was only able to carry 1. Then again, Beta is much bigger and stronger in the comics. I'm glad they did that for the show. I liked it for the show. It fit. Again, Beta looks like he can handle the 2. It might have looked silly for Negan. And again, it was a funny little moment. And TV Negan, the difference with him and comic Negan, TV Negan, they're building him up to have a lot more of this clever edge to him, which they didn't need to do in the comic because he was such a threat. Physical threat. Godzilla 2472 with another $2 nut tap. Meant to say Negan, not break. I gotcha. I figured you out. What did you think of the Whisperer that gave Negan his food after Beta told Negan he couldn't eat it? What do you think he did? Why do you think he did it? Oh, well, I mean, again, I'm covering all this. I think this is one reason why I might not like doing streams plus Flaws and Awes. Maybe we do the streams and then quit the Flaws and Awes eventually. Like, let's say we do Flaws and Awes for The Walking Dead in season 10, and then we don't do it for The Walking Dead again. Maybe we go back and do the old episodes, because now we're just going to repeat the same stuff over and over again, and I feel like people aren't even going to watch the Flaws and Awes or care, which is fine. If you guys just want to watch the stream and then say, fuck the Flaws and Awes, oh, well, we'll move to the movies. But, yeah, I like that part a lot because it differentiates the grunts from the bosses. Negan's a boss, Alpha's a boss, Gamma's a boss, and come on, you're not chilling, kicking it with the bosses. The grunts, that's why, and again, this is, I point this out in the Flaws and Awes, but they show that guy. I nicknamed him Arrowhead for the script. They show Arrowhead. He's the one who shot the pig. And then he points to Negan and he's like, kill it. Negan kills it. And then he's with Negan. He buries it with him. And then later when he sits down, it's kind of like the grunts doing all the work. Beta's just standing there. The grunts are doing all the work. Negan's a fellow worker who most likely will become a fellow Whisperer and a buddy of yours. And the dude was like, nah, fuck this. Here's some food because you helped me kill it, you know? I liked that. It was cool. And then when Negan and Beta were walking through the Whisperer herd and the walkers with the Whispers, blah, 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 Negan gives his whole I'm not going anywhere, and Alpha's like Beta's like, you're right, you're not, and then he kills the guy who gave Negan the pig, and that's why Negan got so pissed and was like, oh, that's yada yada yada. I love that shit, and it shows Beta's a dick, and he's a beast, and he did not like that. You know, if Negan ain't eating, he ain't eating. Yeah, you can be unmodded. Remove moderator. Boo if it means anally injected drugs. Hope all is well. Yeah, boof. I know what that means in that aspect. I just didn't understand it in the comment aspect. It read like you were gonna write something else. I love flaws and alls. I enjoy the shit out of making them. I really do. I can't wait to get to the movies. Again, the movies, it's a bit different because now we're revisiting old movies. And nope, I haven't checked the poll. I'm going to do that right now before I forget. Here's the straw poll. I'm going to show the results. Slide it over to the main screen. I'm going to vote. I liked the episode. It wasn't quite love, but I did like it. Since, yeah, that's tough because love is the very top. And for me, it wasn't a top episode, but I did really enjoy it. Like is 49%. Love is 39%. Meh is 9%. Dislike is 1%. And we don't have a single vote for hate. I think that's the first time we've never had a single vote. Someone's going to go run and vote for it now. But we don't have a single vote for hate. Let me get rid of that, and let me get rid of that. Yeah, we don't have a single vote for hate. I think that makes sense for what we saw story-wise. Part of this episode, I'm going to check the donations while I talk real quick just to make sure we didn't miss any Streamlabs ones because those don't show up like the YouTube ones do. But part of... Oh, I forgot. They fucking moved it, man. Part of... I don't know how to say this. Yes, I like the... Okay, perfect. In my flaws and alls, I talk about the analogy of eating a meal. This episode for me was like eating a tasty meal, but it just didn't fill you up. Like, just because I'm not full and I want more, it's different from being like, oh my God, whoa, I need to see more. I don't mean it like that, but I mean it like you can have a really good episode and you're like content for a while. It's like eating a big meal. You ate enough, you're content. I feel like although it tasted good, I didn't get enough. So I wasn't stuffed at the end. I wasn't full at the end. And I don't mean that like something you watch and it's not good and you want to watch more or you want more of it. This was simply, I feel like I didn't get enough. You know what I'm saying? However, it still tasted good. Hold on. We got a Gabe Vincent with a $20 nut tap. More live streams on Sunday after The Walking Dead. I'm going to try to gauge. I'm going to try to gauge what people like, because here's the thing. If we go with The Walking Dead and the main request is to do them after the episode, then there might be a chance we can fit a stream on Sunday night, the episode Flaws and Alls on Monday, and then the movie Flaws and Alls on Friday. And that's every Friday. That's not one Friday a month. That's every Friday is a different movie Flaws and Alls. For example, Friday the 13th or Terminator, it'll be Terminator 1 week, Terminator 2 the second week, or however else we decide to do it. Based on the voting, the members are going to be responsible for voting with whether we stick with that franchise or bounce around and come back to it. But because The Walking Dead isn't on all the time, we're going to have breaks. And those breaks sometimes we'll be able to still do streams if we stick with it. And then sometimes we won't be able to. We'll have to switch over. I'm sorry. I keep getting ahead of myself. Sometimes we'll have to dedicate that time to catching up with the Flaws and Alls. Because I'm trying to think, because some of it, I really need a few more under my belt to really know. I'm working on, every time I do them, I gauge how many hours it takes me. Just to give you guys an example, I know some people wanted to see this, or they did kind of discuss what goes on behind the scenes for the flaws and ahs. Here's an example of an edited video. No, come on, what are you doing? Give me that webcam. Here's an example of a flaws and ahs episode where we have the Negan clip. Now, here's your editing software. If you move this down and make the screen bigger, you can see the image more, but I make it smaller, and then I click this button, and what it does is my second monitor, I'll get a full screen image of it. However, the one problem is my computer needs an upgrade drastically. Now, when you're using small files, stuff that isn't high def, it's fine for my computer, but once you pass once you go up to a 1920 by 1080p, which is, once you get to, if you're doing standard definition, it's fine, but that's like the 720p shit. Once you go past 720 and you go to the high def and higher, I'm good. I don't need 4K. Once you get to the 1080, now when you go to play the video, especially in the beginning, you could see it clearer. When I'm playing the video, or the effects is the best way for you to see it. If I make this smaller, when I play this, when I'm editing, see how it's not fluid? Now, if I'll sit here and spam this, I can get it to kind of play fluid, but the point is, when I'm editing and it's high definition footage, which is all the videos we do now, we never do anything standard definition. When I do that, my editing is real glitchy because it's like 20 frames per second. Now, that's not how the video renders. That's what's called your preview screen. So while I'm editing, I can't even see what I'm doing clearly when it comes to fluid motions, transitions, effects, because it's all so skippy. That's one thing I want to do if this takes off and we're doing good and we're posting 2 a week and yada, 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 and people are loving it and we're still going with this format. In 2020, I want to upgrade to maybe a $2,000 or $3,000 computer, something that can handle the high def images without flinching, because it's real. If you edit videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is difficult and frustrating as hell to line shit up when your preview isn't lined up. Like when I'm talking, it'll be out of sync. Now, here's the thing. It's not really out of sync, but it's out of sync because your preview can't handle the footage that you're running in it. Once you're done and you render, now it's going to take a few hours to render. Now, let's say I upgraded and my computer is a bomb-ass motherfucker, right? I can see it clearly. It's not as slow and clog. It's not as slow and sluggish of a task. I can actually edit faster. It's not going to be incredibly faster, but it'll knock hours off of the whole thing. If I'm editing for 20, 30 hours, it'll knock 3 or 4 hours off, maybe even a little bit more, maybe like 5 full hours of editing, because you don't have to go back and do all this other shit and try to line things up, yada, yada, yada. When it comes to rendering, it takes hours now. Once I upgrade, it'll be within minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. A friend of mine upgraded recently, and he edits, hour and a half long, high definition, yada, 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 and it's within minutes. And I'm like, fuck. Once I upgrade, if I get done and I'm under the pressure here by the deadline for Sunday night, once I get done, I don't have to wait. Like when I get done now and the episode just aired and it's ending, when I'm close to being done, sometimes I have to wait till tomorrow because I need an hour to finish. Then it's got to render for a few hours and then it's got to upload for a bit. And it's like, well, shit, I'll just do it in the morning. But we're going to get to the point where it'll be smoother. It'll trim the time that I have to edit. And the rendering will be faster. It'll drastically cut down that editing time. So you guys will see a more consistent, or at least a help to get it more consistent. But here's what it looks like, and I want to announce that donation that just came in. Here's what it looks like when you get some of the pieces together. I did add a little picture of guts. You guys didn't see this, but if you watch the Telly Tally channel, that's only the playlist. A Telly Tally is only a playlist. But if you watch that Telly Tally channel, you'll see the version with Negan, and I corrected this because I had the wrong number. It was really 22 for this one. And I'm pretty sure episode 6 beat this one too, 10:06. I think it beat it by a few points. Anyhow, if I remember that correctly. Anyway, so you see all these little blocks. Like here's a little block. This is a clip of Eugene. You can't use blocks too much bigger than this, or AMC will come at you. I mean, even if I made this a little bit bigger, some of these, when you see these highlighted parts like this, the white here, that means there's no effects on it. But when you see this blue highlight, that means there's effects on it. So you're going in here, you're pulling up effects, you have some effects that you're putting on it. So it's a combination of all this imagery. When you see these faders, there's either fading or you'll see it go into each other, and that's when you get transitions. Kind of like this with that blue X. So all this stuff you're seeing, and then if you back out, see all these little clips here, a lot of different little clips for the thing. Some of them are sped up, some of them are slowed down. There's effects added on. You're color grading some stuff. Like with all the A's, if you didn't notice, everything it has a saturation and luminescence effect that was added on top of that to give it some brightness. So when you get to the Kelly one, I'll turn that down a little, just to give those who are curious an idea of what goes into it. And then I'll shut up if I'm boring you. But when you're watching the regular footage and then you go into where it gets the A, look how bright it got. Because I added that saturation and luminescence effect, whatever it was called. That's how it looks naturally. That, and then how it looks the upgrade. I don't know if anyone noticed that, but it pops. I like that a lot. For the moments that are like, okay, good. That goes along with one of my original ideas for Flaws and Aws was to have a 3D animation where it was kind of like a grade on a paper, and it would play it in the corner, and the left side were the flaws, the right side are the Aws, and it would have this animation where it would circle with an F, and it would have the scene, and it would play on the side at an angle, and how you would look, it would look like a test paper. It's kind of hard to give you a visual of the whatever, but picture like a test paper, and then someone would draw an F on it. It was a 3D animation. My computer can't even handle it though, so I can't do animations on this yet, just because it shuts down the program. I can't even run it. But that's an idea of some of the more. Right now, I'm doing 2D overlays. It's just simply an effects I made in the fucking slapped it together with a font with some blood and did a little highlight on it, like a shadowing on it. Anyway, so that pops up instead of the effects. But that's some other things we'll be playing around with in the future. But if I pan out, you can see all these little edits and movements. I mean, look at them all. Even all these little. You could barely see this right here. That's a little ding, like the bell. But look at all that shit that goes into the one video for just one. What is this? 16, 17 minute Flaws and Aws. And a lot of this stuff, like I find since I've been doing it for a while now, just editing for YouTube, a lot of this stuff I find really simple. The problem is, no matter how simple it is, it's time consuming because you have to touch and move and place every single thing. Everything you're bringing from either this list or the back of the workspace. Anyway, I won't bore anyone else about that, but I just wanted to show that off because I did get a few people talking about what it looks like or behind the scenes stuff for the editing. So there you go. Okay, I think we did not read down more live streams. Josh A with a $5 nut tap. Thanks for the stream and content. I don't think nut tap is working for me. Always enjoy your post episode live streams. Been watching your channel for about 3 to 4 years now. Thank you very much for the dono, Josh. I appreciate that. Forrest List with a $10 dono. Love and miss the Sunday live streams. Glad to have you back even for one. Hope this encourages more. We're doing good. I'll be honest. I don't mean for this to sound cold and blah, blah, blah. It's just tricky to kind of word it, especially with the internet and how certain people will hear something and they'll just be like, oh, and they'll take their own thing. But the support has been incredible. I think I got showered with a lot of love, and I'm just talking about support because it's dramatically helpful. When you're balancing your work schedule with, your hobby and what you love to do, it's really helpful to be like, holy shit, like you guys gave me a lot of love with the donos today, and it's not going to go forgotten. This is the shit that's going to go into keeping us with consistent videos. And again, it's I don't want it to come off wrong, but it truly is a balance between setting aside the time for me to work to pay the rent, and then to also put the money into saving up for a better computer and blah blah blah. Um, I got the same troubles as everyone else, you know. Car blows up, you got to fix it. We recently moved and had a remodeling to do, and it was bigger than we thought. I talked to you guys on the last stream about it. I got the same issues as y'all, and you guys know how it is when you're trying to juggle things. You have a few bad months, and then you come back with some good ones. That's life, you know. But it's been real helpful. So, for example, if I was going to work a job, right? Let's say I make $100 tomorrow. We just made $100 in donation. Maybe we didn't, but I feel like we did, right? Let's say we got $100 in donations. Boom, fuck it. I'm not going to work tomorrow. We're getting that video done. We're getting another flaws and alls. It's that kind of mentality, as an example. And that's just the way it is when you're not set up. So again, it's massively helpful. It helps to keep it going, and I love you guys for it, because without that, I'd be trying to cram everything into a little bit of time to get it done. But we will be exploring other options. I know it's something I hate to do, like the one request was to switch the member and Patreon private streams, switch that to Sunday night. And again, it's a replacement for The Walking Dead. But then we had some people saying, no, Saturday's better for me. So I do want to hear from you guys in this video, and hopefully soon, preferably in this comment section, once this video is posted, or the next Flaws and Alls video. What are your thoughts and opinions for when to do the streams? Should it be after The Walking Dead? Should it be the membership ones? Should it be Saturdays, not Sundays? Is it just to have a live stream, or is it about having a live stream after The Walking Dead? I want to take all the information, because I've gotten a handful of requests, and I want to try to, like I said, try to balance it so the majority gets what they want. Everyone can't get what they want, unfortunately, or else I'd make it that way. If someone knows of a way, holla at your boy. We'll see. Anyway. Instead of dono, here's some potentials. Bisquick, bitch nuts, mother dick, nut sucker. I miss Abe. Well, one thing we do want to avoid is try not to get it demonetized right away, because I do know one of the future aspects of YouTube is going to be a lot stricter. I have a feeling we're getting there. I remember like 5 years ago, I talked about the future of YouTube, and I feel like it's a sad day because it might be coming around the corner. But some people thought I was nuts. I was saying fucking, because I saw something spark with YouTube, and I was like, yo, we're going to get to a day where gaming channels won't be able to use Mario and Nintendo in their YouTube banner, in their profile pic. Because, guys, listen, that's how the world works. You can't open up a store and use Mario as your fucking mascot and yada, yada, yada. And I'm talking about like for trademarking and this and third. You could put posters up. You could put Nintendo banners, flyers. That's a part of promoting the whatever. But as far as the banners and stuff, and again, that's a broader example of how much more strict it could possibly get, and similar stuff like that. Obviously, toning down it. I honestly thought YouTube was going to do a rating system before it would tone down. I know they do you got to be a certain age to watch this video. That seems like the only thing they do where it's restricted, which I really thought YouTube was going to do a grading system before they did a restricted one. And again, I know it's a lot to ask because so much is being uploaded, but it's simple. You have a few different types of, well, it's not simple, but you have a few different types of people uploading on YouTube, and some of them are just uploading to spam. And I wonder how YouTube doesn't employ people to just shut those down. Like for The Walking Dead, there's people Walking Dead, Terminator Dark Fate, the Joker movie, anything that's new and hot and yada, yada, yada. People will upload an hour and a half video that has a still image, and a link that sends you somewhere to watch the downloaded version. Some of it is legit, some of it is a scam. Even the legit ones are a scam, and they got all this ad crap and virus crap. So there's so many different things going on, but they upload those on that channel, fucking 100 of them. If you just go and search and say what was uploaded now, I don't know why they don't have a worker just going, boom, okay, this channel, that channel's done. Okay, this channel, that channel's done. Just for an example, do similar things when it comes to rating. Have the YouTubers do it. And if you get caught out or caught messed up or whatever it is, and it would need to be an easy rating system. If you get caught a few times just fucking doing your own shit or shit you're not supposed to do, then you get a warning thing and, you know, get your hand slapped. I don't know. I don't think it would be hard to say, okay, if you do any cursing at all, you got to go up to PG-13 or whatever the hell it is. You drop more than 5 F-bombs in your video, you got to rank that up to an R rating or whatever they need. Anything to help out so that way YouTubers aren't getting dicked over. Micaiah Harrington, am I saying that right? Pronouncing it right? I feel like it could go 2 different ways. With a $10 dono, everyone get that Doomsday Kingdom before it blows up big. Get in on ground zero. I tell you what, if it does end up blowing up big, the ones you guys buy from us personally will be the ones that are the most sought after. If we get lucky and it does blow up, simply because once we get published, it's going to be printed probably 5 times as much as what we're selling by ourselves. For example, issue 1 sold twice as good. Everyone. There was only a handful of people that didn't buy 2 issues. I think, you know, a handful of people bought like 1 issue, but every order almost was 2 issues. A few people bought issue 10. So we had a good, solid run for issue 1. Even still, we would print, you know, 5, 6, 7 times as much if we got put into the stores. And that's if stores only ordered a little bit. At the minimum, we would still print. Because, again, you're hitting thousands of comic shops. So, yeah, especially with the ones that had really low print numbers. Like, I'd have to look at it, but I think the day-night variants, the second print variant, those. And we're going to be doing some restocks soon, too. So, Bozeman World. But anything that's in stock, hit us up, help us out. Because we're going to be putting an order in to get the restocks for issue 4 and issue 5. I can't wait. I fucking can't wait. I'm telling you what, we're going to sit down and talk when issue 5 drops. Because where we go with issue 6 is somewhere where I would just want to talk about it because it's fucking fun. Bozeman's World with a $5 nut tap. Are you still accepting mail? Would love to send you volume 1 of Vinland Saga, this brutal, gory, historic Viking manga. Oh, it's a manga. I think it's pronounced manga. Japanese comic. I'll take a peek at the manga. Yeah, it should be in the video description. I'll never turn down something to read. I don't give a fuck. But thank you very much. No pressure, though. If anything comes up and you can't send it, don't even worry about it. I'll look it up. But it's Ronnie Hayes 397. That's the one in the video description. And yeah, I'm still getting mail. I just did a Matt mail. We'll be doing some more. But like I said, I want to get going with the Flaws and Aws and our consistent schedule. It's something I've been talking about for a year now. Getting up our main series and getting it going, staying consistent. And then we have Dan Stan with a $20 dono. Hey Ron, hope this helps out. Gonna catch the stream later. Haven't been able to catch up in a while. Constantly being deployed since state of emergency in Australia. Been busy with the fires going on. Shit. Well, be safe out there. I honestly haven't heard yet about the fires in Australia. I heard some, obviously, California and the U.S., but that's different because it's all over our news. But stay safe out there, brother. And thank you very much for the support. Everything helps. Everything helps. Abso-fucking-lutely. Once we get going, and we're good, I'm telling you what, I'll do a special little thank you. I'll figure out what to do. Some type of special bonus thank you video. Something neat, something fun, something cool, maybe something extra. I don't know, because I just think it's neat. It's fucking neat. It's weird. For the comic, perfect example. If it wasn't for a handful of people wanting to know more, I wouldn't have talked about it again. And then more people wanted to know, and next thing you know, we got an artist and artist from the map family. It grew out of this community, bang, out of the map community, out of the zombie genre fan community. Same thing with this channel. There's been a number of times where YouTube straight fucked up. Everyone knows there was the whole demonetization thing where advertisers pulled out with the whole PewDiePie did it. Everyone was yelling, yada yada. I don't care who did it. It doesn't matter. I don't even think he was solely responsible. You guys know it was a lot more complicated than that. But ad revenue dropped 90% on this channel. If it wasn't for the support between Patreon, consistent support coming in, and then you guys donating to the super chats and different live streams we had, I shit you not, the channel would have ended a while ago. I would have definitely tried keeping up some videos and shit, but it would have ended a while ago. So I don't know. I think that's so amazing. And again, it's so different than 10 years ago when you're doing projects and coming up with something. It's just so fucking different. Wait, did I miss some shit? Did I back up? Let me go over here. I think YouTube... Yeah, YouTube has this activity thing, but I want to see what Streamlabs has. Hold on 1 second. Is this editor? Dashboard. There we go. Okay, we're good. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any Streamlabs donations because we got a bunch of super chats in, and I didn't want to leave the Streamlabs because that comes up in a different screen. I didn't want to leave them hanging. Was Daryl in tonight's episode or Norman Reedus? So much dialogue, which is great. Wait, was Daryl in tonight's episode or Norman Reedus? Well, yeah. Yeah, they were in tonight's episode, which is great. So much time. Wait. I'll be honest, your question confused the absolute shit out of me. You asked if Daryl was in tonight's episode. Oh, you're saying was Daryl in the episode or was it Norman Reedus? So much dialogue, which is great. Yeah, again, they're pumping up dialogue, but that's a flaw because they took the dialogue away from Daryl Dixon, and a lot of fans came out and were like, what's with the grunts and what are they doing with Daryl? Now that they're giving him dialogue back, it's like, who is this? Is this Daryl? In a good way. But the truth is, Daryl was never a quiet and afraid to talk. You know, he was rough around the edges, and, you know, when he got pissy and moody, sure, he just shut you down and then didn't want to talk about it. He wasn't a talker, feelings type, but he had something to say, you know what I mean? Go back and watch the older ones and remember when they're in the woods and they're, you know, fucking Sophia just went missing. Daryl's the one coming straight up, no bullshit. Listen, we're going to find that little girl. Stop praying. That's pointless. We'll find her. Just chill the fuck out. This is Daryl. The Daryl that around the whole Beth situation, even a little bit before that, maybe after his brother died, they started doing this darker, and then after Beth, he still was talkative, though, going out on runs. Remember Bob dropping the fucking beer, and he was like, I end you. There was just a moment there between 5, 6, and 7, I think, where it just got so twisted. And Daryl was a shell of himself when it came to the dialogue. I think having him back now is old Daryl. Still with a more gritty. Will you do a straw poll for when to live stream? We could try it. I just don't know how to write that in. I tell you what, let's do a test. This isn't going to be the definitive, but let's create a straw poll, and we'll do map live stream. Oh, fuck me, man. Caps lock is a bitch. Map live stream. Map live streams. Just curious Just curious. Sunday. This is the options. Sundays after The Walking Dead. That's crucial. It has to be, because that's where we're trying to gauge. Is it after? After The Walking Dead. What is Saturday instead? Wait. We have to be specific. Fuck, how are we going to word this? Because how the hell are we? I don't know how to word this to get. Because again, the initial requests that came in were to make them private ones, which I immediately was like, well, I appreciate that, but I don't know about that. I don't like the idea of yada yada yada. Someone else did reach out and say, well, what if we lowered it? Because on YouTube it's $5. I'm gonna double check. I think we can lower it on YouTube. I've seen them go. I think I've seen them go down to $3 for channel memberships, $3 a month. So how the fuck do I word this? Well, we'll just see what people are interested in. Sundays after. Because this sounds stupid. There's no point in making a straw poll. Because if I don't word it right, if I say Sunday after The Walking Dead, everyone's just going to pick that. Because obviously it is it. But it wouldn't just be a regular stream. It would be private stream for members only after The Walking Dead. Which, again, this is not something that I thought of and I was like, oh, I want that. It's just trying to work it back into the schedule if this is something we'd be able to do. Because I wouldn't want that, man. Because we had... we'll try this. Open Sundays after The Walking Dead. Or as long as we can. We'll do Saturday instead. It'll be down here. Pace. Yeah, I just don't know how to word that. Let me think about that, because again, wait, what was this? Micaiah Harrington. I keep wanting to say Harrington with a $20 dono. Heading to work, so I'm throwing my last dono down. Then I'm out. I'll watch the rest of this later. Just got signature issue 2 last night of Doomsday Kingdom. Can't wait to get it. Night Ronnie and Matt Mob. Wait, issue 2. If it was on the site, it should be shipping out tomorrow if there's mail. It might ship out Tuesday. I don't think there's mail tomorrow because it's considered a holiday. Pretty sure. I'm gonna double check, but there's no school. Thank you very much for that last bomb drop dono. I appreciate the support. Have a good night at work, and we'll see you tomorrow for Flaws and Awes, and then again Friday for Train to Busan, and then Sunday, if we get things worked out and we're lucky enough and able to come back and do an after show, we'll do a new one. I will say, Juliet doesn't have school tomorrow, and we're just chilling, yada yada yada. I will say though, when we what was I about to do? When we do get set up, if we can come back and we do it, like I said, I'm trying to work things out. But if we do that, it will be, 45 minutes, an hour on the spot. Like, it'll have to be, as soon as that timer's, I'm out. I have to shut it down. I'm going to set up a timer where I have a limited amount of time to talk about the little first impression review, and then I'm done. You know what I mean? I got a boom, 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 done, and then jump into the fan feedback, because, again, that's important. But if we are able to swing them, and, again, this is just until we're really, really, really spitting out those flaws and alls, because I need to be in it to know how much time is on average dedicated to the movies. And again, a lot of that's going to come down to doing a number of them and then breaking down from movies that get a lot of love or a lot of negativity, because the ones that get a lot of love, those ones, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot there, but also the ones that have a lot of negativity, you're going to be mentioning that a lot. So on the flip side, if it's a super good movie or super bad movie, it might take a while to do it. But if it's a movie that, it's got more okay. Because keep in mind, with that grading system, anything that's okay or meh is ignored. So if the movie's wildly okay with just some good parts and some bad parts, it's going to be quick to put that video together. I want to show off this, though. I have some... I had some, here's a Friday the 13th one I was putting together. I got to move it and shift it. I don't like it. Friday the 13th, Flaws and Awes, thumbnail. Where was I like the Terminator one. I just did a Terminator recently. Here was one for Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Flaws and Awes with Arnold. I wanted something that had the robot in it, but this picture is so iconic. I fucking love it. Here was another example. This is one that I liked, but not as much as I like that black one. This is one without the lettering. I also have this one. These are missing the lettering. Here's one with Terminator 1. I'll probably use something similar to this. And these are just base ones, just to do the promotion and let you guys know what day they're going to post. These aren't the official thumbnails, because there's going to be a little more work that goes into them. This was one that just fell together because I had these two images I loved, and I just slapped the logo on it. We are going with this one. I was putting some stuff together for New Nightmare. I'm sorry. This will come way later, though, because we got to start with part 1 and work our way up. What else was there? Yeah, I think Train to Busan had a bunch. It had an old art pick. Here's the one I'm going with. Not this version, though. I think there's a new one down the line. Yeah, we're going with this logo. These two logos, but a different picture. Yeah, I think this is the official thumbnail for Train to Busan. And that's coming this Friday. Cody Fitzgerald with a $2 nut tap. I expect Alpha and Beta to be in 2 pieces by episode 8. Alpha or Beta. Ooh, again, here's the thing with Alpha is if they stick with the comic, you know what? I think it will work better on TV than it did in the comic for 2 reasons. One, it feels like we've gotten more with Alpha. Now, again, being on screen and having a real life person is going to, it's going to add a lot more than in the comic. And I said this from the gate, it could have worked how they did it, but we needed more from Alpha. We needed more time with her. We needed more story involved with her to make that work. It's a brutal moment. And on screen, if they don't puss out, holy fuck, it could be brutal. You know what I'm saying? That's if they don't puss out. But if they get, just imagine that. Imagine that, you know, Carol, and they're already kind of setting it up. Carol is just like trying to get at the Whispers. And you know, for one, it's going to get them in trouble. And Daryl's like, don't. We might go into comic spoilers here, so I don't know if anyone who doesn't want to know shouldn't listen. I'll try to evade it, you know, but imagine Daryl's like, no, and Alpha's like, I'm sorry, Carol's like, yes, and they torture the guy, and, you know, Daryl's trying to get Carol not to go, and she's about to leave the gates to go attack Alpha, and Daryl's like arguing. They're just at each other's throats. You know, the worst conflict those two have ever had. They're butting heads like massively and not in a sexy way. And they hear this whistle, this Negan whistle. Again, they made themselves out to the gates. People in Alexandria are like, no, yada yada, whoop-de-whoop. Daryl and Carol are at it. Carol's going to get Alpha no matter what, or the herd, it doesn't matter. They're heading out the gates and they hear the Negan whistle. And then everyone just stops because they've been looking for Negan as well. But now Carol wants to go and attack them. And everyone just stops, and you just see that Negan's blurred, you know how they do the heat and blurry, and he just starts trotting down. And maybe he's got a bloody bag, and he gets closer to the gates. Everyone weapons up and gets all ready. He could even have oh my fucking God, picture this. They hear the whistle. And they turn around, and it's Negan wearing a fucking Whisperer mask with maybe 6 or 7 zombies, walkers behind him. No, then he can't fucking whistle. No, he's not right next to them. But it's Negan with a walker mask. You could clearly tell he just came out of a few different walkers, maybe a little horde that broke off. And there's 3 walkers trailing behind him a good distance, 10, 15 feet. And he does the whistle, but give him that image. Maybe even kind of call back to Michonne with the 2 pets. So Negan in the front, 2 walkers on the sides, not close enough to attack right away because of his whistle. But he doesn't need to be in camouflage anymore. So he does the whistle. He's holding a sack. They all gear up with the guns, weapons, blah, blah, blah. And he gets even closer. Daryl obviously puts his gun on him. And then Negan strips off the mask, says something Negan-like about the mask and wearing it, whoop-de-whoop. And they're just like, what are you doing back here? And that's when Daryl shoots the crossbow. And it's revealed it stabs the walker next to Negan. And picture Jeffrey Dean Morgan with this look like, oh, okay. I thought maybe I was going to eat an arrow, but thank you. And then they kill the other walker, and Carol would come out and kill that walker. Daryl's like, get away from him, whatever, and he says, I got this for you. I'm trying to think of this at the same time talk about it, but what I'm getting at is he pulls out a bloody, disgusting gift for Carol, and he just hands it to her, and then everyone freezes and pauses, and then they close up on the gift he's holding out for her. I'm trying to stay spoiler-free, too. And a little tongue flapping out. And then episode over. Yo, I tell you what, that shit would be fucking tight. I don't know. I like it. I'd probably drug that out a little too much because I'm trying to think of it too. Yo, that shit would be fucking bomb. What do we got? I know I heard a nut tap come in. Deagle9 with a love tap. Who do you think Negan will behead? Well, I'm keeping that as my prediction, homie. That's all mine. What I just said, that's what I want. Interval and AIC Comics with a $5 nut tap. Doomsday Kingdom rocks, flaws and awes for Friday the 13th. Might get into the negative numbers. Laugh out loud. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I'll tell you that. But keep in mind, there's... The flaws and awes isn't designed to just look at how well something is made objectively. This is to keep the heart of what a fan would enjoy about this. You know what I'm saying? Again, when it comes to Negan is a perfect example. Negan gives himself to the Whisperers. If we were being only objectively pros and cons, and seeing as The Walking Dead is grounded in reality, Negan the scene must, without a shadow of a doubt, continue from the moment he handed himself in, and he needs to come clean right away before they butcher him. You know what I'm saying? Unless they could do a twist to it where they beat his fucking ass and tie him up, and then he's got, some blood trickling down. But this looked too easy. It was too smooth. And the reason for that is because they just looked at how they're going to film it and said, okay, we don't need to go all tough with the realism. We can loosen up a little bit and have Negan being carted off, and then he reveals he's been a prisoner. Because at this point, a prisoner is the last thing in Beta's mind. Who is this fucking guy? Why did this guy come into our land so openly? Fucking don't trust him. Let's see what he has to say, and then we're going to kill him. So it's the vibe of it and the enjoyment we get from certain scenes when it comes to the gore scene. So Friday the 13th might really not get into the negative numbers. Some of them I'm sure will, but I don't know. We'll see. Why did they use the horrible music for when Negan... I put that on my thing. I hated that. That was fucking terrible. It sounded like a buddy comedy, and it was bad. It sounded terrible. It just sounded terrible. Ian said, I do miss the live streams, but it gives you more time to make other content. Unfortunately, you can't please everyone. It gets difficult. Yeah, it is tricky. I mean... I know for a fact, as it gets going, because right now I'm juggling working with doing the channel. As it gets going, if the channel comes back and I'm like, fuck this, we'll do it full time, I'm almost positive there's enough time to do some live streams. It might not always be on Sunday. We might have to shift them around, do some gameplays. Like we might be able to come back and yada, and also manage to get out our consistent Flaws and Awes series with even some extras on the side. I know it's 100% possible, but we have to be on that and rocking and rolling, have a certain schedule, and you know what I mean? I know it's possible, because right now I'm juggling it with also working to pay the rent and shit. So if I was working fully on YouTube and getting that done, I think it's definitely possible. I've only watched Train to Busan twice, but I think I'll watch it again. Check it out this Friday, Train to Busan Flaws and Awes. I wonder what Ronnie gave an awe or not about the acorn scene. That was just okay to me. I skipped it. It's not even mentioned in Flaws and Awes. Why did they use the horrible music? Oh, I read that one. I need to watch Train to Busan. Watch that. Yeah. And again, Flaws and Awes is designed to pick out what we enjoy about it, and not just saying, okay, this was filmed good and this wasn't filmed good. If you look at Train to Busan, they're stuck on a train, and one thing I give them a lot of credit for, and they definitely get an off for it, is how that the characters dance around. You get a dad and a child. I think it's Suan. I don't know how to pronounce it in Korean. The dad is just the dad. I don't know how to pronounce his name in Korean. I'm not even going to butcher it and try. But the dad and Suan, the child, are sitting there in this train. You have a train, and that's it. That's your environment. So what they do is they have the dad kind of fall asleep. They just get on, fall asleep. The kid gets up, and she goes looking for a bathroom. Now she runs into a cabin attendant and the big asshole, the big bad of the movie, and a homeless guy who's locked away in a bathroom. So just introduced 3 characters, boom. It shows off one guy's a cabin attendant trying to make everyone happy, one guy is a huge asshole, and one guy is a homeless person. Boom, sets it up. She keeps walking down, and she runs into the pregnant couple. Fucking fantastic couple, really good little intro to give you a little something, but it holds a lot back. Then she continues on and gets to a restroom. So then the father wakes up, gets a phone call, oh, where's my kid? And he starts heading out. When he's looking for her, he passes his daughter's restroom, right? Passes them all, passes his daughter's restroom. There's a commotion. So now they placed it where the daughter introduced all these characters, the dad just went past everybody, and now shit pops off. It gets his attention, and then it starts ramping up. People are getting eaten, people are turning, people are attacking, people are running. Now people are running past the dad, and it fucking really kicks off. The music, the score hits up, everything, shit's hitting the fan, and he hears Papa behind him. He turns around, shit has exploded the fan at this point, and he takes off, picks her up, starts running back, and as he runs back, he runs into the other characters, the Prego couple, and he's stuck in a little thing. He knocks through one. It's like a dance. It's fucking beautiful. So after that moment, they realize, oh, the doors, they cover up the doors, and now we calm down a moment. Now we bring it down a notch. And then what they do is they'll ramp it up a notch from another scene, and then they'll have a moment where they calm it down, and then they do this roller coaster, but like a dance. It's the storytelling itself is kind of like music. It's kind of like the theme to, or an orchestra, the theme to a villain or a scene or a moment where it has its highs, its lows, where it has this intensity, and then where it falls back. But that dance, just there to introduce characters and then kick off the action, that's what we give Oz for. And when you're watching it, when I watched it, I didn't pick up on it. It was a kid looking for the bathroom. A father wakes up and goes looking for the kid. But when we're looking back and we're analyzing why we enjoy this, we enjoy it because when you think of a zombie outbreak on a train, you're thinking it's a fucking train. It's going to entertain me for 5 minutes and then done, you know? But no, because they dance around the events. They dance around the storytelling, and it's fucking beautiful, and it's worth all the praise you can give it for a number of reasons that are similar to that in how they do it. They get off the train. Okay. Oh, shit. I thought we were going to be on a train. All right. We get off the train. Where's this going? Shit hits the fan, fucking back on the train. But guess what they did? And I love this. analyzing the storytelling like this. You know what they fucking did? They introduced everybody. Shit hits the fan. We get this introduction of these characters. They get off the train looking for help. Oh my God, shit is not good here. We need to get back on the fucking train. They go back on the train, but now they're split up because something else happens and it splits them up. And now it sends people that were, you know, at odds with each other, but it introduced the couples, and all the couples, it splits them up. Two sisters are split up. The couple is split up. The father and daughter is split up. Everyone is split up, and now we're halfway through the movie, and we're at a new movie where they set up the outbreak, they set up the train, they set up the characters, and now the new part of the movie is to reunite. So now we're on this mission to reunite. Again, it's a dance. It's fucking beautiful. Every second of Train to Busan is utilized for something within the story. The kid goes to a recital. There's a breakup. The breakup is used to get the father and daughter on the train for a location. As far as just the father himself and a mirror of what he could be if he keeps holding on to this negativity, this negative lifestyle he lives. Anyway. That was great. Even though I like to be Carol, I still love your version, especially since it nods to the comic. But that's one tricky thing I'm having a problem with. Should it be Daryl or should it be Carol? Carol, they're already building up to have this direct conflict because of Henry. So there's a part of me that's thinking, oh shit, they might actually go Carol versus Alpha. Because they already hyped it up in talks before. They already hyped that up. But we've seen them overhype, which means they could have hyped what just happened, which I don't know. It could be either one, to be honest. Yeah, I think Negan will get Lucille back. I have it on top chat again, son of a bitch. I'll fix that. Let me read these comments and I'll fix that. Why did the show make us think Negan was going to fight Beta this episode? Last episode, Negan says, let's go this, you big freak, and then nothing happens. I hate how they do that. Yeah, that's just a setup and ending. That's dumb. That was great, and even though I like it to be Carol, we make a death prediction video for this season. No, there's not going to be a death prediction video. I just can't do it. I don't have the time to spare to do a whole death prediction video. Maybe for the second half I might be able to do something. Besides, no one died yet, and I think we're going to get one death in the next 3 episodes, so... Wait, 7, 8, 2 episodes. Do you know? And I'll tell you right now, my only one death, I think it's Alpha in the next 2 episodes. Do you think if Train to Busan 2 began production yet? I believe they did. And the remake to Train to Busan, the American remake, started production too. Train to Busan is only $6 currently on Amazon for those interested. It's worth every fucking penny. What did Juliet dress up as? A countess. It was a red and black dress. With like a bruised something or other. I put she kind of looked like a vampire. I put a thing on Instagram. We do flaws and awes for certain games you've played. Oh, no fucking way. There's no way. I would love to, but there's simply no way to cover a video game so huge and vast. There's no. It would take me forever. Maybe down the line we can do flaws and awes for sections of a video game. Yes, I think that's possible. And eventually do a whole series where it's multiple flaws and awes for each section. Yes, but one flaw and awe for one video game, it would never happen. Why do I want to say internal? Interval and AIC Comics. Thank you very much for the Map Mob membership. The memberships help out in a huge way. It's a specific set of money every single month to go keep the channel going, and again, that stability and understanding and yada, that is massively helpful. So then we know, okay, here's our budget, here's our one. This channel in ad revenue makes $400 a month. You can't do anything with that. You can't do shit with that. That pays for, you know, AMC Premiere. It pays for the internet and cable and all that. It's like 150 or 180, something like that. It's paying for, I think I even paid a car insurance. But you get what I'm saying. It's paying on a number of different things. This channel makes $400 a month in ad revenue. It just doesn't cut it. So the memberships are huge, massive help, and it's only going to help us grow. And I've been on this channel for 5 years, and you guys have seen how the channel upgrades. I invest in software. I learned how to, right now I'm learning how to do Photoshop, and I'm learning other stuff. and it's all for the channel to upgrade the content. I'm looking into a different software for editing, effects, as well as upgrade on the computer. All that is where all channel membership, Patreon, it's going to keep the videos coming and to upgrade them coming up. Let me change this chat thing, this live chat instead. I think you guys said that's screwing everything up. It's on live chat now. How long have we been going? Ian Williams said, if you did flaws and awes for fear, it would just be flaws with maybe one or two awes. Here's the flip side and what I love so much about flaws and awes. Originally, it was a 2-part video series, meaning for The Walking Dead, here's how it started. It started as a movie idea with a different name. I've been working on it. It had a different style a year ago, but I've been working on it a little bit, making little mini videos, and I'm glad I didn't upload them. At first I was like, I should have uploaded them, but I'm glad because it really changed over a year or so, just tweaking little things and then taking different ideas. And because again, it was something different, but still in this vibe of what we are now. And when The Walking Dead started, I thought, okay, I'm gonna do it with The Walking Dead, but practice it. The original idea, flaws were gonna be separate. It was gonna have movie flaws, and then it would do all the flaws for the whole movie. And then it would be movie awes, and it would do all the awes for the whole movie. And then it was going to add them together and do a grade for it. And that would be at the end of the awes movie. So that way you would have flaws. It would be part 1. Awes would be part 2. At the end of part 2, you would get your grade for the movie. And then it would go, once we do more, they would go into a list. So just like how we have Walking Dead episodes, movies are going to go into a list. The original idea would be the case. It would be an animated case of the Blu-ray. And when I put it on the shelf, it's all animated. It's not me, but when it's the 3D animation of the thing going on the shelf, the end of the Blu-ray would have a number on it. And then as the camera pans away, because again, it's like the grade, and then you put it away in the list. As the camera pans away, you see the Blu-ray shelf with all the numbers of everything we've already reviewed so far. And depending on how many we reviewed would be how far the camera pans out. Now, I know I'm nowhere near that because I didn't even get anyone to animate that, or I didn't even price it to see how much that would cost. That was just the original idea. But then when The Walking Dead started, I thought, let me practice the flaw and awe style with The Walking Dead. I combined them together because I don't have time and I couldn't do flaw and awe separate, and it's smaller than movies. So it worked. So now when I'm putting together the movies, they're a lot bigger, they're a lot more editing, and it's flaws and awes together, the grade and the yada yada yada. Now we're not going to have the animations for a while yet, probably not until 2020, but that was part of what I was thinking of going into it. Do you teach yourself how to do all the editing you showed us? Yeah, I didn't take a single editing class. I did take screenwriting courses and classes. I took acting classes. I took a course of method acting. I did not take any editing classes or anything. Now, I did take a small course. I got kicked out of college. I went to college for like 2 weeks. I went to college and I signed up for financial aid. I was against going to college just because I didn't have any money. You know what I mean? Well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go into debt and all that. But I decided to go for music engineering. And I was already making hip-hop beats and selling hip-hop beats. I had a little closet studio, and I was basically renting like studio time for rappers to come in, and they would rap, later tracks down, and yada, yada, yada. With their beats, or, I had beats I was making, and I was learning that. So I wanted to go to school for music engineering. I had went and they approved the financial aid. I forget the details, but I just remembered I was furious, and I just said, fuck school altogether. I got approved for financial aid, and it cleared in like 2 weeks, and I was in let's say it cleared 2 weeks later. I'm in class now, but it didn't clear, but it will clear. And the teacher came and was like, yo, you got to go, whoop-de-whoop. And I just got pissed and was like, oh, fuck this. Something else happened. Again, I forget the details. It was a while, but I was tight. I probably fucked it up my damn self, but it doesn't matter. The software that I learned, and again, it was like one class, but the software I got introduced to was Sony Sony Asset Pro. I still have that software now. It's like $300 or $400 software. Old by now, but that's how much it was at the time. I'm sure they got new versions of it now. Well, the Sony Asset Pro software looks very similar to the video. It has everything the video software does, except for it doesn't have the video track. So by looking at, how I taught myself how to do the music engineering, making beats and sound samples and all that. By doing that, I just went in trying to piece what everything is matched up with the music one, the software, because it's real similar. Once you dive in and get going, it takes a bit, but you'll understand it. Oh, splitting tracks, adding transitions. You got to get in there and use it, and you'll pick it up. I think it was the best episode of season by far. Definitely one of the best of the series. Yeah, I think the whispers, I love them in this episode. How they look, the dark, the whispering, I fucking love that. You should do a film review for Train to Busan. I would enjoy it. Terrible Gamer, it's already done, already did, and it's releasing this Friday. I can't wait to get Train to Busan released. Like I said, for some reason, I think it was because I changed the structure a bit by adding them together for the movies, but it took twice as long as I thought. However, I was going to release it this Friday, but I decided to hold off to release it next Friday. That gives me a little more time to polish it. But also, after that, I'm ready to go with another one the following Friday. And then I just got to play catch up after that, And I really hope I can do it because I don't want any downtime. Yeah, Train to Busan is free on Netflix if you got it. You sound like Chris Jericho. I don't know who that is. When you say video game or video games, I don't know who Chris Jericho is. Check out the YouTube channel, Crypt TV. They create monster and weird. Oh, yeah. I watch some of their shorts. They do some weird, creepy shit. Sunny Family Cult. I've watched those. Thank you very much, ill bro. What happened to Mark, the dude who got his face ironed? He's dead, ain't he? No, maybe I'm thinking of someone else. No, I'm thinking of his girl. Is Flaws and Oz deeper into? I haven't seen a Flaws and Oz. Watch it and you tell me. I would have to say no. Deeper into looks at the technical side of it. Like we'll break down the foreshadowing. With Flaws and Oz, we'll mention foreshadowing. We'll mention callbacks. That's in a more streamlined way or a more condensed version, I should say, because it's mentioning it because it's stuff we connect to, it's stuff we enjoy, or stuff we hate, depending on what it is. With Flaws and Oz, we might go. With Deeper Into, we would go a little more in depth. Pull out the old footage, break it down, show it. Again, we do it similar because it does scratch that Deeper Into itch because I love fucking making those. But they're so Deeper Into is hard because it's so much more research. You need to go in, research the filming, the writing, the who wrote it, the scenes where they filmed, how this scene connects to this. With Flaws and Oz, it's your enjoyment as a viewer. Why do you enjoy this? How, like I talked about how Train to Busan is like a dance and how they did that. That wouldn't be mentioned in the Deeper Into. The Deeper Into would mention this character, and this is how it connects, or it's similar. This character is led down the hall, and that's to utilize this space in a clever way to showcase these characters and then bring this father out. So there's similarities, but then there's also a lot more detail with certain things. Maybe for a movie that would take a lot of time, you can make them a two-parter. I might have to. When it comes to some that just have a lot in it, I might have to. Holy shit, go to work and you're still on. Yeah, I gotta shut this down. I felt, I guess it's because we haven't been on stream in so long. I just felt like, fuck, I miss it. I want to hang out. Got a lot to chit chat about. We don't have much longer. We do have to shut it down in a little bit, but I enjoy it. You are the best live stream YouTuber. Thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words. study, but there were no schools in my area that taught it. Oh, no shit. Yeah, my area was shitty when it came to school, and when it came, a lot of people I know were going different places and shit, but I knew a lot of people who had, yeah, I don't even know what it would be, but you know, there's certain levels with different people and their finances. Like I knew a fuck ton of people who, when you turn 16, you know, you got a car for your birthday. When you graduated high school, you know, your parents paid for your college. You know what I'm saying? You got that type of support. Um, I came from a little different. You know, you turn 16 and you got a keychain. It's up to you to put a key on that chain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you turn 18. It's up to you. Are you going directly into the workforce? Are you gonna go to college? How are you gonna do that? Like, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? So, I just got to the point where in my area it just felt like, what's the fucking point? You know what I'm saying? As far as picking on so much debt, I knew some people that had $150,000 school debt and yada yada yada. Now, given they're caking it now because they did it, they made good, and they spent years doing it. If I can go back in time and change shit, I probably would, but it'd be different than what I was thinking. You know, I'd probably, all right, fuck it, go on YouTube earlier, get your head out of your ass and focus on doing flaws and awes or something similar from the gate. Something that could be a series that you can get really behind and yada yada yada. I probably wouldn't do much schooling, to be honest. I used to say I'd be a nerd and just fucking school, college, but I don't know. I thought tonight's opening to be somewhat reminiscent of the Grove opening. I don't remember the Grove. I remember the coffee pot and yada yada yada, but I don't remember it exactly. But I felt some stuff that was reminiscent of earlier seasons, especially the being sick. What if Carol gets bit by a walker, almost like in the comic, or attacked and killed? Daryl will be so hurt. I don't think they would take that much of a leap because we're losing Michonne. But yeah, if it happened, he'd be crushed. But I just don't see that coming. What happened with super chats? Would you do a Joker flaws and alls? Oh fuck yes, Joker's on that list. Spit a rhyme about The Walking Dead. I refuse to. There's a number of things I refuse doing. Freestyle is something that I fucking loved, and then when I got really into hip hop, I found out it's all a lie. Freestyles are, and I used to ghostwrite, and I used to be in studios in Brooklyn or other places like that. See independent artists and artists that have records out there, and I'm telling you right fucking now, most freestyles are a fucking lie. Goddamn lie. There's some people that can fucking tear it up, you know what I mean? But the majority of freestyles I've seen are scripted and learned in advance. You can even see proof of this. Go back and watch some. There's a one where Tupac does a real freestyle, and he kind of stutters and blah blah blah, but it's a real freestyle. I think it starts with like my tempo flow or something like that. Go check it out. And he's stuttering, thinking about it, whatever. And then Biggie comes in with this whole like, "Catch me 38, yada yada yada, boo boo boo." And here's the thing: is it's a fucking line from his song. It's not a goddamn freestyle. A lot of people did that. A lot of people do that. When I found that out, I was like, "Fuck this! Freestyle's a joke." Again, if people can't freestyle and they're fucking good at it and it's righteous, yes. The second thing I won't ever do, and even back then when I was into making music, and again, I was more into making the beats. I still wrote rhymes and shit, but you had to test out the mics. It's a fun outlet. It's a fun vent. But one thing I refuse to do is rap about corny shit. I would never rap about The Walking Dead. Fuck no. It just dilutes what you're doing as an artist. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even an artist, but I'd never rap about The Walking Dead. I'd never rap about something corny like what I did that day. Fuck no. It's either a real song or it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? One day I'll give you something though. There was one of my older tracks I put in a video. Lord only knows which video it is now, but I put it in one of the things. I'll break it out. I don't give a fuck nowadays. This is so long ago. I'll play something in one of the videos at the end. Do you think we'll get action episode like Too Far Gone, No Way Out this half or next half? I would have to say action wise, next half. I'm thinking. Why in this episode today did they bury the pig just to pretend they cooked it later? I was wondering how or what they ate, but I don't know about that one. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. I know the words you're saying, but I don't know what you mean. Why in this episode today did they bury the pig just to pretend they cooked it later? Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. They buried the pig to cook it. Now, here's the thing. It's all fake. And again, I think maybe I'm reading your thing wrong. No, they're not really eating the pig. It's all fake, but they buried a fake pig. But in the movie or the show, they buried a pig and they dug it back up and they ate it. But that's after it cooked for a few hours. I think it's my brain. I might be reading that wrong, or you might have a typo, but yeah, or what they ate, but I don't know about that one. Yeah, they buried a pig and they ate it. Again, in the movie, they didn't really eat that pig. I don't even think they killed a pig for real. You're not allowed to do that now. Filming. Joker flaws and Oz. That will be a thing. Why are we wasting time watching Sadiq? Who cares about him? I have no idea. When you find out, let me know. They cooked it underground, dude. So yeah, if that's what you're not getting, XL, they did bury it and they cooked it and then they dug it back up and then they ate it. They didn't show them digging it back up, but they implied it when it was on the ground next to the hole. I believe it was on next to the hole. The baby scripted his freestyle on XXL, watching the encore of The Walking Dead. You think these Rick movies are still happening? Yes, they are. It's been more than a year since AMC announced the films. Are they happening? There's still no release date, no title, no production date. Yeah, Tough Titty said to Kitty, but the milk's still good. I don't know what you want. It is. It's still happening. Maybe if it comes out that something bad happened, I'd be shocked, but it's happening. It's not like this was something... And we should have saw the warning signs, I mean, right from the gate. I didn't think it was big news, but if I knew it was big news, I would have said something. But right from the gate, when Rick is out and the actor, and they're talking about sitting down and having meetings recently, bro, yeah, it's not coming for a while. If it doesn't drop till 2021, I won't even be surprised. Late 2020, I'll be like, shit, okay, that's fucking on point. But I'll tell you right now, I will not be surprised if we get the Walking Dead first Rick movie in 2021. I shit you not. I will not be surprised. If we get it in late 20, there's no fucking way it's coming early 2020. No way. Never happened. But late 2020, it might. It depends on how much setup is there versus how big of a movie they're doing. If the first movie has a lot of setup, still intense, but a lot of setup, we might really get it at the end of 2020. Again, it matters what they're telling, what story, how big it is, because they got to lock down locations. There's so fucking much they got to do. But as far as getting the ideas down, the contracts, who's going to be in it, what they're going to do, then they got to lock locations down. They got to figure out when it's releasing alongside of what. The third series, the main series, where's the story at? Is Michonne going to be in it? When she's going to be in it? How would she be in it? Where are the stories taking place? Like I said, end of 2020 or 2021. Not a chance Rick movie happening. Andrew Lincoln is long gone. It's happening. They've already done the contracts again. Unless something comes out and it's all like, oh, whoop-de-whoop. I'd be shocked. But as far as right now, as it stands, the Rick movies are happening. You rapping about The Walking Dead would be cringe as shit. Anyone rapping about The Walking Dead would be cringe as shit, you know? What do you think of Redis in that video game? I haven't played it yet. When I see it looks good. I hear you, Left. It'd be corny rap about The Walking Dead. Yeah, it'd be corny as fuck. I hate when they do that shit in rap, when they take rap and they apply it. The 90s was some of the worst. The 90s and early 2000s. It was, you would have some stuff that flowed together. Who was it? I think it was like Aerosmith and Run DMC and shit like that. But you would have fucking Vanilla Ice in Ninja Turtles 2. Like, that shit is corny as hell. Even though I do like the fucking sound of that song. There's corny shit that they do. They do that with hip-hop and a lot of stuff. They just make it corny. And I think you got people who are just out of the loop. And, like, that's how we got Busta Rhymes fucking jump kicking Michael Myers. Because you got, the fucking people that are on another planet. And they're like, oh man, the kids are into this fucking hip hop and these black guys. Let's fucking have them jump kick. You know what I'm saying? They're so fucking out of touch. And then they just slam it in the shit into everything. Everything needs hip hop. I showed you guys the cover of House on Tombstone Hill. They just took a random ass picture of like 5 dudes from New York or something. I mean, like New York hip hops, you know? I think maybe like 3 white guys, a Cuban guy, some shit like that. Backwards hats, all like Italian guys, maybe. Maybe I get that wrong. And bats and all hip hopped out. It has nothing to do with hip hop. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with. It's just fucking ridiculous. But you get, like I said, you get these people that are off on another planet, and then they hear about an artist coming up that's hot and this hip hop thing, and they just jam it in the shit. Will Michonne depart in this first half? I was under the impression she was gone in the first half. I don't look into it though. Ever since we stopped doing prediction videos, I've been falling back on news. Wait, I thought the Whisperers buried the pig to kill the survivors' food supply. No, guys. The pig was, it's called a pit cooker, or pit. It's called pit cooking. It's where you heat up rocks in the ground. You put the pig or an animal on the top of the rocks. You bury the animal, and while it's under there, it cooks, and it takes hours, sometimes days. And when it's done cooking, you dig it up, and it's usually covered. In the show, they didn't even skin it. You usually skin the pig, and you cover the pig. A lot of people use chicken wire, leaves, shit like that. They dig it up, and then they eat it, you know? That's a real thing. I looked it up. I didn't know what the fuck they were doing either. I learned a lot of survival shit. I'm sorry. I like a lot of survival shit. So there's a lot of things where it was like, oh, they're cooking them, but I didn't know what it's called. I didn't know the process. You know, it's probably something I looked at, but never really logged into memory. I've never done it. Yeah, Elbro. The ones I looked up, they were all whole pigs, but they were skinned, and they put hot rocks inside the pigs, and then they wrapped them in chicken wire and put them on, or leaves. Q&A. In the show, do they use walker skins for something besides the mask? Because I seen them cutting off skin off the walkers and stomach, but yeah, the walker heads, backs, arms, anything that they can use to create, just like leather. So straps, patches, fucking in the comic, it looked like they even made walker gloves. Anything they can use the skin, they cure it and they turn it into a leather, and they use it for fucking anything. I'm pretty sure they had, some of them even had skin sleeves. They don't go that far in the show, but in the comic, there was some of them that looked like they even had walker gloves, you know? Or maybe that was just how it was drawn, but again, look at the skin as leather for the Whisperers. Trick or treat, motherfucker. Yeah, that was cringe as shit. Go Ninja Go. Got me hyped when I hear it. Let's see now. I mean, it clearly a way for it to be cooked. But normally I thought the pig would be cut up, not put in whole. Everything I looked up is whole. There was one that had it cut into parts, and they did cook them separately. They cooked at nighttime and the next day. It was at a party, and they documented their thing, and it was done in Hawaii or some shit like that. But yeah, it can be done whole. But again, everything I saw was skinned. It can be done whole or in parts, from what other people have shown. My husband's family cooks special holiday meals that way. It's actually really good and tastes bomb as fuck. They said it's the oldest fucking known way of cooking, so it's gotta work, you know? I've never personally done it. Yeah, deja vu. I bet it tastes great, but once you chew through the dirt. I know it's funny to say, but in all reality, that's just not paying attention to the process. Again, they wrap it. In the show, they just fucking threw it in. Now, obviously, when they dig it up and it's already cooked, they're going to skin it or cut it open and just cut out the meat. There's no dirt there. But the ones I saw, They were wrapped. Again, the chicken coop. It is a process. It does look like, how the fuck do you get that from that? But again, just look into it. It's a real thing. People have been doing it for a long ass time. It works. There's no dirt. When they pull it out, if you look at the pictures, it looks like a whole cooked pig, you know? Dirt free. How could that yummy smell not bring in walkers? Laugh out loud, yum. The walkers aren't into cooked food, though. So it's yummy for us, but it doesn't do anything for the walkers. Now that I think about it, I think I'm going to make a point of that in my flaw and awe. I know I mentioned the pit and other stuff, but how they cook is a way that is real that keeps them from attracting walkers by not having an open fire above ground. That's fucking great. Because again, it fits with the whispers perfect. Yeah, Google pit cooking or pit cooker. You can Google pig cook, but if you just Google pit cooking, you'll get a lot of results. I noticed the Jason mouse. Yeah, there's others. I forget what I had on here. I got the Jason. There's also a Batman. What is that one? Sonic. There's a PlayStation. There's Stranger Things. I got a lot of Stranger Things ones. I should put is it a Demogorgon? I should put one. I changed the Jason because originally it was the hockey mask for when you click something and the machete normally. But I thought that was dumb. It should be the Jason mask floats and the machete because it's a pointy fucking pointer thing for when you click something. It only works on Chrome though. So it doesn't work for here. That's my desktop. But when it's on Chrome, if I go to click something, it should do the machete. There's nothing there. Hold on. Straw poll. Fuck. It doesn't do the machete. Oh yeah, see right there? It'll do the machete. Yeah. Can you guys see that? No. Nope, you can't see that. Up here you can see it. See how it does the machete? Let me change it to... No, we gotta shut this down soon, so let me pick a Demogorgon. Oh my god, that's fucking awesome, actually. Yo, look, it does the Demogorgon, and then when you go to click on something, it'll open its mouth. What is this? John Wick. Oh my god, it's a gun, and then it's John Wick. See, this I don't like. It should be the head when it's floating, and when you click on something, it should be the gun that's pointy, because then you could click. But when it's the head, it's the top left corner of the head. You gotta always remember. Use top left corner when you're clicking on shit. Anyhow, what else we got? We got Will from Stranger Things. Here's the U rule. Oh, it's what's her name? There's Dust or Lucas. Here's Steve. Look at with the little bat, and then Steve. I wonder if they have any Negan ones or Walking Dead ones. Here's a pointy with. See, again, it's backwards. You would think the pointer, a head floating, and then the pointer for clicking. And it doesn't matter. Fuck it. You guys are probably like, who is this idiot? Let's get out of here. We got Batman. Anyway. I never did that poll. I'll come up with something. I gotta figure out how to word it right. I'm gonna go back and look at some of your guys' suggestions. I got some messages. There was a few comments. I'm gonna go back and look how it was worded, because I even think once I started talking about the streams and when to fit them in, I got it all screwed up, because some of the first suggestions were do the private streams on Sunday. That way, and again, the important thing is it's funding itself. So if it's all members and Patreon, if we got it down to the minimum, I don't know how the minimum is on YouTube. If we're allowed to do $1, $2, $3, whatever the minimum is, if we did that and we had a few hundred people jump on, again, boom, it just paid for itself and we're able to make it possible. I'm going to look into all those different suggestions, and we'll try to do it where as many people can watch as possible and it's available to do. But I'm just throwing the idea out there. We're working on it. All right, let's see. Last few questions here. It is so good. We're describing how to cook it and have no idea how they do it, but his family lives in northern Mexico. I guess it's a traditional thing. I've seen some of that in a few different places where that's how they cook. You're supposed to use banana leaves to cover it. I would imagine in certain areas. I mean, where do, like, for example, in Hawaii, they still cook like that normally for tourists, and I would imagine just regular people who want to cook like that. But if you don't have banana leaves, what are these? Banana leaves, what is banana, where can I buy banana leaves? Hardback. I don't know. I've never needed to go out and pick banana leaves, but I guess you can find them to buy, it looks like. But yes, they do look like what I saw in the pictures where you get these big ass leaves and wrap it up in alpha, cliffhanger, or no. I don't know if it's going to be a cliffhanger, knowing them, maybe. So, but yeah, I think yes, it's coming up. It looks like it is. Yeah, please hit that like button. All activity helps the channel in a big way. I thought Rosita was going to stand up behind Sadiq as a walker when he was bugging out. Oh, that'd be funny. I gotta say, good night, guys. Love to the Map Mob. Come to Doomsday Kingdom fan community Facebook page to discuss the comic and win our giveaway art. Yeah, don't forget, I'm gonna hype this up and see. And also as well, those interested, this is something I want to know. Those interested in Doomsday Kingdom, we're looking for the best spot to get people who want to discuss it. And again, you guys don't have to talk about it every day, but when new issues are coming out leading up to stuff, or if at all, if you ever want to discuss the Doomsday Kingdom comic, John and Spin's active over there. John started the Doomsday Kingdom fan community Facebook page. It's a group. There's a page in a group. Go to the group because there you can openly discuss. Spin's over there and they're active and they're doing an original piece of artwork. They're funding that to give it away, to get people over and active in the Facebook group. But I also want to hear those who are interested in Doomsday Kingdom. I want to hear your thoughts on Facebook and as a place to go and chit chat. Obviously, they have groups there. It's really easy. I would imagine it's easier than Twitter. But I want to hear some thoughts and opinions. Is that a good place to be? Are we missing different opportunities to be in other areas? And this is for the fan community. We have Doomsday Kingdom on their own Twitter, the comic itself. This is for you guys to go and discuss and chit chat with yourselves. So thoughts and opinions. If Facebook ain't the place, let us know what is. I mean, it's the only one that I know of that has groups. But again, if you are interested, head over there. You have a chance to win. And it's a really good chance because there's not a lot of people on Facebook that I know of. So there's a handful of people. You got an amazing chance to win an original piece of artwork funded by Spin and John from the Doomsday Kingdom fan community. Check that out for sure. I live in New England, and some people do clam bakes in pits on the beach. Nice. I'm not sure. I'll be honest. Desmond is asking about flaws and awes for The Walking Dead's third show. I'll be honest. I'm not going to commit to that just yet, but I know by the time it airs, it comes in the spring, I believe, of 2020. By the time it airs, we'll have a schedule up and running, and I'll know if it'll be worth jumping into it. Here's the thing. If it's totally not worth it, I would honestly rather just go back and do older episodes of The Walking Dead. But if it is worth it, whether it's really good or really bad, because really bad helps too. I know Fear the Walking Dead got to a point where I don't want to go anywhere near it. I can't even watch it to just pick out why I didn't like it. earlier Fear the Walking Dead, I was able to watch it and still be like, okay, I'm interested. And again, that is helpful to help other fans, but also the creators go, oh, okay, this is why he didn't like this. This is why, because it's not just one person. The majority of people did not like Fear. That's why it's not doing good ratings. That's why when they post stuff on social media, 98% of the responses say this show is dying. Give us something. Give us anything better to watch. It's not in a good place right now. And it's not my fault. It's not the fans' faults. It's the creative team behind it. And I'm talking about writing specifically because that's where it's taken its hardest hit. You're not doing what you need to be doing. Whatever you're doing, you're telling a show that is geared for the smallest group out of the biggest group. You know what I mean? Most people are not enjoying it. Anyway, so it does, in a sense, it is interesting to pick out the stuff that doesn't work. But I just don't know yet. I need to see more from the third show. I do hear good things about it. Like I said, Julian in the Map family, he had said some stuff that it looks darker than the trailers show. It looks, what was it? There was something else. It looks darker than the trailer show, and it looks better and more well done than what we got from the trailers. Now my thing is that's coming out, and like I said, this is where it gets a little tricky, but that's coming from people who went to the set to visit. I'm harsh. You know, if I got invited to the set, I would only focus on the positive because I'd feel like a huge dick. You know, no one's gonna get a set visit and say anything bad. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and people do point it out. I've never in my life heard of someone going to a set visit and then being like, yikes, fuck, no. I'm sure it's had to have happened, but you're not getting called back. You know what I mean? So when it comes to that type of positive stuff, okay, it's like, whew, this might be really good. This might act, but in the same strength, I'm still skeptical because the trailer, honestly, it just looked like it was geared away from what I enjoy. I like the horror. I like the blood, guts, gore, dark. I like it to mean something, you know? They're not going to take one of the female characters. They're not going to yank her out of, hiding from behind a tree and stomp her face in and fucking get dark with it. You know what I mean? And they don't need to do that. I'm just talking about specifically. I don't see them doing some shit where it's like the governor dark in the comic, which I don't think we need rape in it to get dark. I'm over that. Fine for the comic, it worked for what we needed, but we can have better stuff than that, you know? It's just it's too easy. You know, it's like, what do you want, a grimy dark guy who just get a rapist, you know? But I don't think they'll really go dark and deep. If they prove me wrong, I'm all for that. Fuck yes. The heat holds well underground. It seems like it would. I love you, Rondon. I was thinking, my fun little theory, what if Tyrese and Glenn would have gotten that bat the way Abe could have died in All Out War? I would have loved it if Abe could have died in All Out War. I said it a while ago, definitely. Literally any other platform is better. Facebook is cringe, boomer tier. I have voiced my opinion. Now here's the thing. There's still a lot of people utilizing Facebook. I have looked into the stats. Facebook is definitely dying. Here's the tricky part though. For people who are putting shit out and advertising on Facebook, it's still working. There's still people. You got to look at how they count their views and all that though. It gets a little iffy because again, they count it if you scroll past it. So there's a lot to consider and take into consideration. But it's the only one with a group. It's the only one with that group aspect where you can go and yada, yada, yada. Again, you can do it on Twitter, but it's not as concentrated as far as everyone and only that one spot. But you are right. Facebook has less younger people on it, 100%. I only use it to chit chat with you guys and to have a map Facebook page. If it wasn't for that, I never even would have opened a Facebook. I only opened it for YouTube. I don't like Facebook. I don't like the way it's set up. I find it just, I don't like how it's laid out. You know what I mean? But I will admit there's benefits to it. But I'm just trying to make sure. Even if Facebook is cringe and boomer tier, I'll agree with you. Fuck, yes, it is. Sure. But there's still a buttload of people on it. The majority of people reading Doomsday Kingdom are older. They're not, 15, 16. We do have some, sure, absolutely, fuck yes. But that's not the majority. The majority of my audience is 25 to 35. It's older, or 25 to 40. The majority of my audience is that age range. So a lot of them are going to be on Facebook. So even though it's not, may not be the best of the platforms for everybody, it still has some positives that could be utilized for now until they make some changes or another platform arises. But yes, I agree. Saying Facebook is garbage, yes, we all know that, but it doesn't help because it doesn't give us an alternative. Where else can we go and post up? And I'm talking about the fan community, not us. We already have every Instagram, Facebook, we don't need anything. Besides, this is for you guys. This isn't for us. Of course I'm going to tell you everything's great. I wrote the book. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say it's shit, don't read it. I want you guys to honestly say what you like and don't like and be interactive with each other and yada, yada, yada. And again, this is slowly just setting up for when we're releasing more often. Do you think the contaminated water will turn people like before into prison? I think there's a possibility. Now, again, it's not turning them. It's making them sick with a bacteria like how we get sick in life. And then they die because they don't have the right medicine or they're old. And because they died, they turn. You know what I mean? So it's not turning them, but they're going to turn because they die. So yes, I think that's very possible. Like that older lady. I think they pretty much just set that up. What about a map subreddit? I'll be honest, I never go on Reddit. I know for years now everyone's Reddit. I never go anywhere near it. I just haven't had an opportunity to go check out Reddit. I've heard people saying subreddit. Now we're opening the Discord once Flaws and Oz are going. And yes, the Discord I have promised and held off. And the only reason is because I didn't want to open it with the main thing of The Walking Dead, blah, blah, blah. I want to get past that and focus on the horror genre with Flaws and Oz as our main thing. And do the Discord, and then we're good, because I've learned my lesson by starting something, and then everyone's like, Walking Dead only, and it's like, no, we're not Walking Dead only, and then it's like, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to do Discord. But again, the Discord is for us. Is there a way to do it where fans can be on there chilling as well? And I mean by setting up their own shit and doing their own posts and blah, blah, blah. Do you think the contaminated water will turn people? What about map subreddit? But again, I'll write that down. Discord, subreddit, I'll look into those things. Good night, Aaron, everyone. Good night, bud. Aaron, everyone. Good night, Ian. What do we got? Oh, fuck. I missed my mark. I wanted to shut it down at 2 hours and 30 minutes, but let's read the last few. Do you agree that Fear the Walking Dead is cocky doo-doo? Yes. Travis Clark with a $10 nut tap. Yeah, I don't think that's going to stick. I want something juicy. Do you think we will have a gruesome scene death for the mid-season finale? I fucking hope so. If so, do you think it would be someone from the communities or some whisperer like Gamma to send a message? I hope so. I think it'll be a whisperer. My money's on Alpha. That's my only death prediction for this beginning first half. And it better be gruesome. It better be dark. And it better be harsh. Or else it's not going to work. Jake Therian with a $2 dono. Sup, Matt family. Thank you very much for the dono, homie. Same for you, Travis. I can't remember if I said thank you, but thank you very much for the support. So is the Walking Dead Rick movie just going to be a hash of the film 28 days later? Rick wakes up, joins a new group only to find out they're evil and kills the group. Yes and no. I mean, there's going to be more to it, but they're restricted in what they write. They can only do a certain number of things. They can only do him waking up with a new group. That's it. They can only do that. They can only do something where he can't escape or flee for right now. They can only do that. And, what more do you want? If Negan dies, I'll be pissed. I don't think he's going to die anytime soon. Not like in the next episode. Discord, definitely. I'm going to look into that as far as, because I looked into things as far as setting up the map Discord for us. But I want, when they're doing giveaways and when they're talking fans with fans, I don't want it to be like they have to ask for us to post. Again, I don't know how Discord is set up like that. Johnny Law with $2 dono. Hi, Ronnie.
How about Flaws and Awes on The Boys? I'm not sure. Again, when it comes to shows, I don't know yet until we are a few months. Give me, 3 to 4 months of a solid Flaw to Awe schedule, and then we'll see what kind of shows. Because again, The Walking Dead is going to be releasing almost every fucking week in 2020. So if we're doing The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead 3, we're not doing Fear. So that leaves us a gap. In between that gap, we might do one movie, one video a week with a stream, and branch out into some other things with once in a while doing bonus where we can do some stuff like The Boys and finish out season 1 and other shows. But again, it's going to be something where we'll know better once the videos are coming out. Let's say the videos are coming out. Some of the videos are actually getting ads on them that are, because they're going to get ads, but the people who own the material are going to get the money. Like whoever owns the movies, because they're going to claim them when they come out. There's no way around it, especially with HBO. They'll claim any and everything, even if there's, a picture that just moves an inch, they'll fucking claim it. So if there's some that get through, that get enough, and if we got enough channel memberships and we got enough on the Patreon, and I'm full time doing Flaws and Awes, and there's a chance I can do bonus one here and this there, and it's the channel is the job, and then blah blah blah. Then fuck it, we'll do as many as often as we can. Maybe even get ahead to where we have a whole a week to 2 weeks schedule. Nah, but get more ahead than that. A whole month. This is what's coming out this month. 2 month schedule, because again, it's going to be 1 to 2, maybe 3 is a bonus one. So we'll see. We really need to get going and gauge the averages. How many get claimed? How many get blocked? If so, what do we do about it? How many get yada yada? Because that's going to delay them if they get blocked and all that. Daryl scene needed to breathe. Kind of scary. Them boom Alexandria. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Have you checked out or seen the Death Stranding game with Norman Reedus? No. I want to play it. You said the game sucks. I want to play it, so I haven't looked into it at all. I might ask a friend of mine that I trust his opinion on games. We have similar tastes, but I do want to play it, so I didn't grab it. I gotta wait. I gotta wait, and I'll grab it down the road. Have you seen the show See with Jason Momoa? It's on Apple TV. It's pretty good. No, I haven't watched anything on Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV or even looked into Apple TV. I think I've seen an ad or two on Twitter, but other than that, I've blocked it out of my mind. I don't even know what that is. I'll look it up though and see. Carol is not leaving. Michonne is. Yes, Michonne is out soon. Why are you saying that though? I want my girl Maggie back. Carol is going to die. Book it. Carol exit. Enter Maggie. I'll be real shocked on that. There would have to be some behind the scenes craziness for that to happen, because they're losing so many. Rick is out. Michonne is out. They're killing people off. For I think Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's only in it for another year. I don't know, man. I don't know. Losing Carol too, and I don't know, man. Carol's 100 times better than Maggie. I hope Carol doesn't die. Michonne is going to look for Rick. I'll believe that when I see it. Like I said, I think Michonne, it would be best if she does go over to the Rick movies, but it can't be the first movie, or else they're going to skip so much that the Rick movies are going to be like, what the fuck did you do, bro? Because they'll have to skip so many years and just show Rick, bam. Death Stranding is basically about you making deliveries, laugh out loud. I'll look into it. I mean, there's got to be more than that, right? Maybe there isn't, but it's time to end the franchise. That's not going to happen. Giovanni. We've seen these, and listen, before we shut it down, just out of curiosity, I don't know. Like, maybe you're like, I love The Walking Dead, and it isn't what it is, and it's time for it to die. In that respects, well, yeah, it's time for Terminator to die. It's time for, all these other franchises to die. Star Wars to die. This and that to die. At the same strength, it's not going anywhere because these are making money. Especially now. Like, back in the day, sequels weren't common. It wasn't common. Franchises weren't common. Since they're getting more and more sequels and reboots, and since the customers buying anything with the name on it, for the most part, since that is all popping off, they are more likely to just keep bringing it out. You know what I'm saying? So Terminator's not done. We're going to get a full reboot with a totally different T800. Probably not going to have the same charisma as Arnold. That was just meant to be. That charisma, it was just fucking perfect. Eventually we'll get somebody who gives Arnold a run for his money, and it's like, listen, the classic was amazing, but this guy, holy fuck, Terminator's not going anywhere. Jason, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be big breaks in between, but you have to understand there's always someone new to come back and sink money into it and bring it out and do something with it. It's always going to pop off. The Walking Dead is here to stay from now until, at this point in time, my daughter will be my age and The Walking Dead will be around in some form or another. It might not have, this is the peak, right? It might not have 3 different TV shows running at the same time, but it'll have something. It'll have a video game. It'll have a movie series. It'll have something running. New Terminator, what a disappointment. This is terrible. I refuse to support Dark Fate at all. The intro, the first 3 minutes, it ruins Terminator 2. I don't know how they could even justify that or try to. Good night, AIC Comics. Have a good night. I'm shutting this down. We went a whole 3 hours. I fucking love chatting with you guys. We haven't streamed in a while, so it was nice. I am getting tired though, and it is head for 1 in the morning, and I gotta shut it down, get something to eat, and go to bed. Any last comments before we shut her down? Thank you very much though. Massive support tonight with the donations and just being here, chit chatting, hitting that like button. The positivity and the support about Watchmen was good. I heard nothing but negative stuff about the Watchmen. I saw one positive comment. I was like, oh, that's curious. I still gotta check it out, maybe, kind of, sort of. But the positive support and comments for Flaws and Aws, for me, I think that's fucking amazing. Like I said, this is something that is incredibly fun to put together, and I'm really looking forward to releasing these more frequent and making this the main series as 2020. Still always going to do streams, time to time, and still always going to big news, and it has to be big news. Before it was any news that was just interesting we talk about, but any big news, still going to jump on, still going to discuss it. Certain big games, especially zombie, post-apocalyptic, The Last of Us 2, Days Gone 2, we're always going to stop and play those games. Everything's shutting down. Flaws and Aws might even take a break for a week for The Last of Us 2. Like I said, we're always going to mix it up, but the main thing is going to be the consistent one, which I'm glad you guys are really behind and support, because they're so fun, especially when we get going. Reboots and remakes are not the same. Remakes are not the same. I don't know what that's connected to. I mean, it really doesn't matter if that's connected to what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. We're talking about the franchise itself. Reboots, remakes, sequels, prequels. The idea is it's still part of that franchise. Again, unless you're taking something I said and you're trying to go like a different context with it, like you mean, I don't know what, for example, like you mean it as, Terminator Salvation is different than the Terminator because it's not connected in this. Actually, it's supposed to be, ain't it? But you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking the franchise as a whole. Anything connected to it. I don't give a fuck if it's a reboot, remake, sequel, prequel. I don't care if it's spin-off, web series, sideshow. There will be something with that franchise. That's how I'm saying it. So, yeah, it's always going to be around. End of story. And we can, wait, someone else said soft batch reboots and remakes are the okay, so you guys are talking about something different. Hold on. Reboots and remakes are the same concept as the producers in the way that a bad movie can make a lot of money. I don't know what y'all are talking about, but I mean, you guys can go and argue. I mean, essentially, in one aspect, reboots and remakes are absolutely the same thing. In another aspect, yes, they can be totally different. The point, though, is remaking something. Well, it depends on the context you're talking, but if you're remaking something, you're taking that thing and you're just simply remaking that thing, right? Rebooting something, you're rebooting that series or franchise, if that's how you mean it. If you look at the context for me, I don't give a fuck if you're remaking one or rebooting something to go on. Doesn't matter. You're still doing the same shit, you know? Like if they remade Terminator 1 or if they said they rebooted Terminator 1 to make a Terminator 1, 2, and 3, I don't give a shit. It's all the same. You know, they're bringing back that story and telling it with those same characters, same story arc, blah, blah, blah. But yes, I will agree. If there's certain context there are different. I'm sure they even have difference that I'm not even discussing. Thanks for the stream. Thank you very much for hanging out. Whatever happened to your Deeper Into videos, dude, there was not enough support, so they're not coming back. At this point in time, I would love to visit them as bonus videos, but like I said, at this point in time, the only thing going on from here on out, and I mean this, listen to me carefully, because I keep having certain people bring up videos that we've said we're not doing anymore. And they what about this? What about that? The only thing we are doing on this channel, for sure, Flaws and Oz, The Walking Dead every Monday, and a movie every Friday, unless it's a long edit and it has to spill over to the following week. So we're doing movie Flaws and Oz and The Walking Dead TV show Flaws and Oz. It's the only thing we're doing for sure. I'm doing everything in my power to get streaming more consistent. Obviously, we'll stay on Sunday. We're working that out. I'm going to do The Last of Us 2, any other wild video game, but that's going to be a special event. If it's a huge topic and it's mind-blowing, we need to discuss it, yes, we'll stop and we'll talk about it. If it's something that's going on in pop culture and it's like I almost came this close to sitting down and being like, fuck it, I need to talk about the Terminator. Because a friend of mine was like, there's no new ideas for Terminator. And I took that as a challenge. I sat down and I'm working on the script to Doomsday Kingdom. And I couldn't stop thinking about the Terminator because, again, my brain took it as like a direct challenge. It was like, okay, there's nothing new to do. Well, fuck yes, there's always something new to do. Here, and again, my brain was like, take 3 Arnold Schwarzeneggers, send them back in time. Matter of fact, no. 2 Arnold Schwarzeneggers and 1 that's a T-1000, the liquid metal guy, send them back in time. 1 T-800 is old, 1 is young, and it's digitally de-aged. Now, it starts with them going back in time. 1 old, 1 young, 1 that's a T-1000, new actor, you know, whatever, yada, yada. And they arrive. No one knows anything about the Resistance. It's a mystery. You know, it's one of those things where they have 2 or 3 locations that they need to go to hunt, but it's a complete mystery. The John Connor, whoever, whatever, it's all a complete mystery, and they have to go and hunt it down. And this is where we get into, are we going to retcon what happened in Dark Fate? It's possible. Have a different gang again, we're not going to get into all that, but it is possible to correct a terrible mistake they did in Dark Fate. However, I'm just saying, here's a completely new, different idea that you can do, but keeping a lot of what we already do. If this is going to be a love letter to Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? I looked at it like that. And again, this is a concept. Nothing is solid. Everything is loose and you can play around with anything. So if it doesn't work, tweak it a little bit however you want. But my idea was bring them back. 3 Terminators, no good guys whatsoever. You don't see it. But you know of, well, there will be, but you don't know it at first. You follow the Terminators. They have to go here, find this, and they're unraveling part of the story as they go along. And they get to a point where one of the Terminators gets a hostage that is supposed to have the information, where they torture him a bit, and then it leads them to this other area. But again, you keep the Terminator and hostage, and they get to interact. At the same time, we're seeing these Terminators hunt down these people. We see how they interact. We see how certain things maybe add some new things to the world. And again, the John Connor, the leader of the Resistance, is an absolute mystery because of everything that's been going on. The Resistance team has completely hidden all information, and it's been totally hidden and totally secret. And I'm trying to remember, there was one really neat thing that I wanted to do. Oh, that's right. This would lead to the future war that everyone wants to talk about. So again, it's a love letter to Arnold Schwarzenegger. So throughout this, and I'll sum this up real quick, but throughout this journey, you have the T-800, the old T-800. Young T-800 is the super bad guy. You have the liquid metal guy, and they're all bad too. But the older one eventually would get again, you got to work out that chip thing. For those who don't know, it's a chip thing where you reset the switch so that way they can learn to become more human. Incorporate that somewhere. Maybe he gets stunned, but you're introducing some of these new survivor characters, and because he's there with the hostage, eventually it becomes like a John Connor and Terminator thing where the Terminator is learning some more humanity from this hostage. So by the time you get to the big climax and the big ending, it turns out, and again, this is a love letter to Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's a key thing. It turns out that one of the heads, or one of, let's say, 3 main leaders for the resistance is, dun dun dun, Skynet itself. The old fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger would eventually, between his learning capabilities, learn and analyze everything he's going through, would become one of 3 main leaders for the resistance, because they keep sending him back in time. They branched off. And again, this is where you can, in a way, get John Connor, Danny Ramos, however you want it. So it's the old Terminator, John Connor, Danny Ramos. He turns on the younger Terminator, which is digitally de-aged, whatever. You can even bring Sarah Connor. Again, this is getting real tricky, but this is a concept that's open to play with. So again, it's a mystery one, hunting down information in the resistance. He learns, changes his ways. He ends up becoming what is a part of the main force to fight against Skynet. And the reason why I picked that is because it's a love letter to Arnold Schwarzenegger being the hero, one of the final times he's the Terminator. But then it spills over into the future war, allowing the Terminator, who is again one of the leaders of the resistance now, who the Terminator is able to create, or help the humans create, fucking human Terminators. So now we have a future war with the humans who can actually create some of their versions of Terminators to go against the machine, so it's not so one-sided. Even when I was younger, I always thought, like, okay, that's incredibly cool, but you need to limit Skynet. If you think about Skynet and they could just create machines and work without, work until machines just blow up and break down, they're going to create so many, it's going to be like overwhelming. So in this aspect, you would have to limit some of what they're doing, but in the same strength, you give the resistance some Terminators or machines to fight against the machines. Again, that would be the second movie following this. Yo, fucking potential. But you got to play with it a lot. There's so much there you got to twist and turn and blah, blah, blah. Because if someone came out and they were like, I have this idea for a machine to come back in time to hunt this girl because of her kid, and the guy was sent and he's going to protect her, but guess what? Plot twist. That's the dad of the kid who sent them back. When you hear the Terminator and it's like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Okay, there's potential there, but how does that work? How's he his father, but he's from the future at the same time? That's what I mean by a concept, but you got to really mold it into something that is you. So anyone who likes that, take that idea, but come up with, for example, one of the scenes I had envisioned was, you're always seeing the robots, the Terminators, and it's always destroyed area. Well, here's an idea. Woods, greenery. Start out, camera low to the ground. You slowly pan behind. And it's the greenery with vines and woods and all that. Maybe mushrooms and a downed tree, rotted tree, moss growing out of it, fungus, yada, yada, yada. Camera's panning back, and as it pans back, there's more and more stuff that is not the natural woods. And it's like some bones and then a skull with, a vine growing in the eyeball and out the mouth or something. And as it pans out, it's this overgrown graveyard in the woods with yada, yada, yada. And then you stop at a skull and a Terminator foot crushes down, calls back to, part 2. And as the camera pans up, similar to the shot, because we're calling back to part 2, it shows the T-800s in a wooded area hunting down this resistance, and you get a battle there. Again, it's an absolute contrast to what we had before. Complete different, refreshing scene than what we got or what we've been getting. It's the idea of taking something we've had time and time and time again, and instead of just doing it again with the same shitty environment, switch it up some. We don't need to know who the resistance is. We don't need a bad Terminator and a good resistance guy, or a good Terminator going back in time at the same time. You can send a few bad Terminators and still have it so it's a mystery that builds up to a surprise or a twist. Anyway, just a couple ideas. for the Terminator. If you have no idea what the Terminator franchise, well, if you don't watch the movies or you don't care, you probably checked out a long time ago. But just some ideas. Where did I start this fucking rant? Andrea in the comics is better than Michonne. DC Deceased is a good comic series. I'll look into it. I'm not real big in DC and Marvel though. I'm saying they're the same. I'm saying they can make money even if they are bad. They count on that. Yeah, they make. It doesn't what you call them. If it's a known franchise title, if it's a known name, period, it makes more money. That's just how it is. Now, that's based on good and bad. If you come out with a title that no one knows, and then if you come out with a title that is the Terminator, automatically it's going to make more money. And again, that's based off of just the basics. It doesn't matter if that's not incorporating the money you put to the marketing, how good it looks, who's behind it, the names are behind it. If you just took a name itself, general principle, it makes more money if it's known. Ronnie, how much I got to donate to get one last Fortnite stream with you? James, Dallas, and Pook. I'm serious, Joe. One last farewell. I'm not really sure. I haven't played Fortnite in months. I know Dallas is hard at work. I don't want to promise you anything. Let me get things figured out before I mention anything, because it'd be hard getting everyone on at the same time. The RS Ronnie Hayes schedule. We love you. Appreciate all your hard work. Whatever you post, you have my view. Thank you very much, AO, bro. I appreciate that. I never watched the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I might end up checking it out someday. Terminator, a dead franchise, last 2 movies, total dog shit. Yes, totally agree. It can always be resurrected, though. Never forget that. Micaiah Harrington with a $10 dono. For being on 3 hours, get some sleep, brother. I'm going. I just want to make sure I read some of these last ones. I keep going on rants, but we're not hitting that 3 hour mark. I got to shut it down. We might hit it and then shut it down, but I got to shut it down. Matter of fact, I think I have to shut it down this way now because I'm doing it different than before. Yeah, I do. Anyway, thanks for doing this. Good night. Good night, everyone. I don't know what Terminator movie you're talking about, but putting me to sleep, bro, laugh out loud. That's not a real Terminator movie. Go to bed, though. You're just being a dick. But I prefer the Shakespeare guy. I don't know what that even means. Nobody's cared about Terminator since the 80s. That's not true at all. You're just being negative to be negative. Terminator franchise has not the biggest fan base, but it's just like the Predator, bro. People are still buying $15,000 life-size statues of the fucking endoskeleton, and you're telling me there's no fan base? They've consistently made figures, statues, collectibles in the hundreds and thousands and worth hundreds and thousands of dollars. And they sell out, and skyrocket in price. But yet, of course, they continue to reprint and remake the Blu-rays and DVDs and posters, and there's comic books and there's t-shirts and merchandise. Yet no one cares about the Terminator since the 80s. You know you're saying something that is flat out false. I have no idea why people talk. The Walking Dead's done. Terminator's been dead. No one cares about it since the 80s. These sentences that are just not logical. If that's true, they never would have released a single movie in the 90s or the 2000s or fucking 2019 with the new one. The new one did bad because the trailers looked fucking terrible. The director went on a rampage with his bullshit, and no one wanted to see it flat out because it looked awful. And it was as bad as it looked. That's it. If you made one that looked amazing, it would do well. Honestly, the whole Skynet thing wasn't why I liked Terminator. I liked it because of the connection between John and the Terminator. Skynet isn't a main thing. You don't have to focus on Skynet at all. I don't think most people, I don't give a shit about Skynet. I like the name. I think it's cool for the villain thing, but without Skynet, you don't have the Terminator. It's a background thing. It's just a thing. But to remove Skynet altogether, okay, you have my interest. But to take Skynet away and replace it with something with a different name, it's fucking stupid. Just leave Skynet there. But as far as being in, I don't think many people at all are into Terminator because of Skynet at all. I don't know where that comment came from, but Skynet is so, it's just the name of the enemy, so to speak. Do you have any ideas for possible Joker sequel? No. Yeah, I can't get into it right now either, but no. Maybe one day we'll talk about it. Ronnie, can you say my name? Scott and Chimple? Nice. I'll drop a 50 next time you stream Fortnite, even if you can only get yourself on. I'll do my best, brother. I'll do my best. No promises, but we'll see about that. Thank you very much for the support. I'll hold you to it, Adam. Have you watched your channel for years, even though Walking Dead has gone downhill? I will always support you, man. Well, thank you very much. Maybe it'll pick up. And now that we're getting more into movies with the Flaws and Aws. Maybe you'll find some more stuff interesting. I love your channel, Ronnie. You got my view for whatever you want to upload. Well, thank you very much. None of that boomer shit. I don't know what shit we're talking about yet. I'm going to eat and watch Diabetes versus Diabetes. I don't know what that means. Say my name. Say my name. I already said your name. What is your favorite movie from 2007? I don't remember any movies in 2007. You're crazy, bro. I don't know what came out in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can name something that came out from around about there, but I have no clue. Why 2007? That's so weird. I'm curious now. McDonald's something or other sauce packet Rick and Morty goes for 5,000. That is crazy. Please do hold me to it. I will. All right, I got to get going or else I'm not getting out of here. I read all the comments to catch up, but I got to shut it down. Thank you very much for all the support. I'll see you guys tomorrow for The Walking Dead 10:06 Flaws and Aws, and then this Friday, Train to Busan Flaws and Aws. And members and Patreon supporters, keep an eye out. We're going to do a little questionnaire to see what the franchise, we're starting with next right after Train to Busan for the second Friday after that. And I'll put up a little schedule list. Good night. Love yous. And I'll see you later. Now, is this going to work? Are you sure you want to end the stream? Doing it a different way. Yes, I want to end the stream. YouTube, please. You have me sitting here like an idiot. End